They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time. What time is it? Showtime. Prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
And then he couldn't fire his glutes later.
Matt Hayes.
I like dudes.
Mia O'Brien.
Can you take me higher?
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now?
Man, what a time to be alive. The building of 2024. What is next for your Jacksonville Jaguars? The legal tampering period is underway in the noon hour. XL Primetime underway on a Mokama Beer Company Monday. And listen, let's just start off. Now that we have found Trevor Lawrence's replacement, we can move on, all right? Let's just at least start there. That's the base. It all went down yesterday. Welcome back, Mac. You're back in Duval from a high school star to now a backup. And the 5 quarterbacks selected in the 2021 draft, 4/5 of them are either on the move or have been moved. So we're going to talk about that today.
I love looking up at the TV right now. NFL Network is on. Garofolo, Rappaport, everyone is on their phone. If you're watching us on the live stream, you may see us on our phones too. It is my favorite show of the year, Joe C. We're going to have plenty of that, all the reaction, and I know there's plenty of you who already tweeted at me this morning on X and said that you will literally be like a dog. Every time you hear of that, it'll be like the call signal. You'll be the DJ Khaled meme. Like, I need to listen to what XL Primetime has got for me.
This is the Pavlov theory in full effect. And, you will come running to the speaker wherever it's at, Alexa, the laptop, the phone, whatever it might be. But, we will try and do that many. That just happened throughout the show today. But whenever you see Leon, and I'm looking at both Matt and Leon, beautiful heads of hair that you have, you see Garofolo leaning down. You see these other guys leaning down at their phone, and the camera's still shooting.
Well, they're live. That's number. It's a live shot, and they're looking down at their phones, both of them.
Yeah, you see the top of the head. Top of the head. Now, listen, this is a big, big time, and we're going to just, I think, attack this a number of different ways. And we might, we got to bring up the MAC discussion, but let's start with the guys that happened today, Leon. Bringing in Mitch Morse, a guy that comes in, and I said it's Morse code earlier today for better ball at that center position, and then getting Ezra done, restructuring Brandon Sheriff. Now, what do you think of the interior of that line?
Well, I mean, it looks a lot better. Let me just get this point across. Players love free agency, all right? All players love free agency. It's new money. It's absolutely new money, and it gives also players an opportunity to go somewhere else and reestablish themselves. They get cut. They get moved, they get maneuvered, they get traded for capital, whatever it may be. It's an opportunity to go somewhere else, start fresh, wherever you did. Whatever smell or stench you left at the other organization, you get to come to a new one and start, someone like Mac Jones. Yeah, rookie year, Pro Bowler, took him to a playoff, whatever, last couple of years, went so well, comes to Jacksonville, comes back home, gives him an opportunity, to reestablish himself. A guy like Mitch Moore, guy a little long in the tooth, but, and you know what you got to do? You got to be careful when you read about guys. Because I went on Buffalo's website, the Buffalo Bills website, to kind of get a niche on what Mitch Morris was. And they say he's a middle-of-the-range guy, lost a step or two. That's what they always say when they let you go. All right, so I had to push all that aside. I think what you're bringing here, with Mitch Morris, and you got Sheriff next to him, it could be one of two things. It could be the odd couple, all right? You can have two grumpy old men playing next to each other, set in their ways, and can't get anything done. Or you can have two wily old vets who understand that their window's closing, and we've got somebody back there in 16 that can maybe take us to the promised land. So that more than likely it's the latter than the first. So that's what we're hoping we're getting if we get a guy like Mitch Morris.
And honestly, Matt, when you just simply think of and look, it's not a dog Luke Fortner day, but it will feel a little bit like that. Because I laughed when John Shipley said it to Jaguars today earlier. If you just get an average center, you've improved dramatically from what Luke Fortner was. And so a good Mitch Morse makes Ezra better, and certainly Sheriff with all of his – if he can stay healthy, they're going to be that much better.
So Morse was I think, middle of the road 14 in pass block. Fortner was 31.
Yeah.
So
I doubled your.
I think it's an upgrade. But here's the thing, and this is what I think is most unique to this is, I think you may have been right about the smoke screen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
The whole smoke screen with the offensive line, because I don't think we're done with this shift yet.
Those are hallucinogenic.
I wouldn't be shocked in the least if Cam goes, if they trade him.
Yeah.
And then you move Walker in there. You've got Anton on the right side. You draft a guard in the second round, Cooper Beebe, whoever, and you roll, baby.
You want the intel on that?
Let's hear it.
I want those of you who follow the Pro Day circuit.
Wait, what's that shirt first?
Oh, this isn't just any shirt,
Oh,
JJ.
that's
A round
the,
of applause, please.
Oh, that's the Caitlin. All right.
Yeah, she's still
Come
alive.
on, we got-
What's
we
it?
got-
If you break it, you own it? Is that what it says?
It is. It's a Nike official shirt.
You break it, you own it.
You break it, you own it. All right.
Did you not
Anyway.
watch? Did you not watch that final yesterday? We'll get to that later in the program. For those of
How
you,
did you miss that, Leon?
for those of you who follow the Pro Day circuit, go look up what Pro Days are today and tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, let's hear it.
Well,
All
yeah,
right.
come on.
Certain teams in the Pac-12,
All right.
who
Oregon?
maybe
Okay, so
that's
JPJ
tomorrow.
is today. All right.
That's tomorrow.
Okay.
There's another one on the West Coast today.
Washington.
No.
No?
A little Beaver action.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Or
So-
Ed
It's
State,
gonna be
the
a
other
drop,
guy.
by the way, I can
yeah.
guarantee
I just want you to. I want you to file that one away.
Yeah,
Okay.
File that away, folks. All I'm going to say is
JJ just did.
big
believe me.
picture. Do not think the Jaguars are done.
Okay, so you're just saying that they're looking at that. And again, we've talked about the possibility of these tackles moving inside or playing outside. They
Versatility.
They both come into play here as far as who you're drafting. But if you are talking about one of those tackles out there, then that means immediately they step in and play
Well,
tackle.
what can Tyrese
Because
Fuaga- right.
You've solidified your other three. You've
What
at
if
least
you
done
get
that to
one
this
of
point.
those three?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not even talking
Fuaga,
about
Fatano, JPJ, you're saying?
right at 17.
Yeah.
All right.
Which I'm not going JPJ at 17.
Then you
Maybe
circle
the other
back
two.
and get Cooper Beebe.
Yeah.
48.
The dream of guard
Yeah.
is alive.
God,
No, I
alive,
unfortunately,
man, alive and well.
I unfortunately, and I just tweeted this out, I unfortunately don't think the Jaguars will have the flexibility to go guard because I believe they will be outbid for Calvin Ridley. There are plenty of people at the Miller Electric Center that believe as much. They're making a run at him, but they also understand there are teams simply with more cap space and more dollars and cents to spend. Therefore, that's why I think a wide receiver, a corner in the second or third is going to have to be a reality, coupled with the fact that it is such a lean edge rusher class, lean defensive tackle class, that if you don't address that position earlier in free agency, which is why we're going to learn a lot over the next week, then you may have to dip earlier into that pool because the offensive line class, to your point, Matt, is so deep this year. And I can tell you this, the edict from the top at the bank has been, we know we can find good depth pieces on day 3. So even if you were to go for a JPJ or a Fuaga at 17, we also need to be getting that depth. And part of that is
Well,
because Mitch Morse was
let me
a
just-
target,
let me just
and
throw
Mitch
this
Morse
out
is in
there,
his
right?
30s, as is Brandon Scherf.
I'm just gonna throw this out there, and you guys can react to it. All right. Guard. Xavier Leggett in the third.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Well-
of
Is he
that
going to
idea?
be there in the third?
Yeah.
He may be.
Okay, but just think about what has happened now, okay? And I'm not going to say that Ezra Cleveland's the answer to all things interior line or that
He
Mitch
ain't.
Morse is the answer to. But we ain't going guard now. We ain't doing that. This is all about skill. This is all about the corner. This is about they have handled the interior part, at least for the here and now. And the other part of it, this whole day 3 thing, we can find depth. No, you haven't. No, you have not
Well,
found depth.
I shouldn't say
okay?
they can. I should say some teams that
Yeah.
win consistently find
Right.
depth.
So don't tell me down at the Mecca that you can find day 3 depth when you haven't found day 2 depth. Okay? In the second and third round, you could call it depth if you want. There's a backup tight end and there's a backup running back, but what did they do? So you better have some more answers.
Very negative, Joe.
Yeah, well,
I don't like
care.
you knocking. Like you have negative vibes right now with my guard wide receiver thing. I don't like
it
that
ain't
at all.
happening. It ain't happening. Not
They
now.
invested too much, bro. They're letting you know this is who they're rolling with. I was with you. I was on board. I was on board with
Who
guard
they invest?
tackle.
They invested in Ezra.
Ezra, they
That's
gave
not
him
an
money.
investment. That's not an
It's
investment.
an investment,
The
bro.
guy that can be
They
cut
gave him
next
$24
year.
million, bro.
You can be cut next
All right,
year.
so JJ, let's begin. By the way, you and I, brothers, Italians, Mexicans, back together after you came back from Italy. So I'm happy. I'm waving my
It's
flag
good to
at
see you, and we're wearing the
Yeah,
same outfit.
exactly
So
right.
should we do with that?
Yeah.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, our first signing since the legal tampering window opened 14 minutes ago. The Chicago Bears are expected to sign former Eagles and former Georgia Bulldog running back DeAndre Swift to a 3-year, $24 million deal, according to the NFL Network's Ian Rappaport.
It's kind of interesting that DeAndre Swift, if you think about it, we're now talking about 3 teams in 3 years. And wherever he's been fun to watch. He's been an exciting player, but no one is really long for him.
That's
Detroit,
a good contract for him, too.
Yeah, that's an $8 million per. DeAndre gets dealt from Detroit to Philadelphia. Philadelphia said goodbye to Miles Sanders the year before. Bottom line is he is a one and done up in Philly, and now he's on his way to Chicago. And let's just full circle it. David Montgomery looked like a different dude behind Detroit's offensive line than he did when he was in Chicago. I don't know. DeAndre Swift, I don't know how much better the Chicago Bears offensive line is, but he's probably got his work cut out for him a little bit. But that's the first one. Now, let's just weave all this together here real quick. Because you mentioned the Chicago Bears, and we just mentioned that Mac Jones has come to Jacksonville. That's 4 out of the 5 quarterbacks drafted in the 2021 class in the top 15 selections of the 2021 draft are either on the move or have already been moved. So now that Russell Wilson is in Pittsburgh, what happens to Justin Fields? What's the best guess as far as what happens with him? Because, Leon, Pittsburgh has basically gotten a deal done on the cheap. They get Russ. I don't even call it a dime on a dollar. It's a penny on
Broncos
a dollar.
are still paying for $35 million.
Yeah,
right?
it's nuts, the deal. I don't care. I still think Rust just went to the Steel City, but at the very least, you can plug him in as their apparent starter for day
real quick,
one.
it's $1.5 million. That's all they're paying.
That's it.
Yeah, wait, 1.2? Yeah,
1.2.
Yeah, that's all they're playing.
It's nuts.
And they're on the books for what, 34, 35?
Yeah,
something
35
like that?
the Broncos are on the books for still.
Wow. Well, he got the quarterback. Well, listen, we jokingly call him Rust for a reason because, Rust last year had 3,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. I mean,
it doesn't look bad, does it?
It doesn't look bad.
Until you saw some of the games.
Exactly. But listen, if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm looking at the people within my division, the Baltimore Ravens. How did the Baltimore Ravens get to the AFC Championship game and then lose their whole identity? Running the football, play action, big plays, tough, solid defense. So I mean, Russ can come in there. I mean, he's got 2 backs. He's got Warner, and he's got Najee Harris.
Yeah.
I mean, they were collectively about 1,800 yards rushing. About 13 touchdowns. Offensive line is okay, run blocking, pass protection is a little shaky, whatever. But you got solid defense. So I mean, your competitor is the Ravens. That's your team in your division you got to beat. Russ comes in there, just don't screw it up.
I will agree.
I think that if he can be half of what he's been,
right.
Talk about a 9-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
He could be half of what he's been. I mean, he could elevate that team
better
than Kenny Pickett did.
If I am handicapping it, and like I said, I've already put the label on him, but play action with a run game is what he did do in Seattle.
True.
If you go back and think about it, they had beast mode, and they had many other guys that followed beast mode that they could use that run game to make the defense respect it. And so we'll find out. Arthur Smith has done good things with Tannehill and obviously a big back in Derrick Henry. So we'll see.
And it should be noted, as we talk about Russ Wilson and the Steelers, that was the other team that Mitch Morse visited with over the weekend. Flew direct from Pittsburgh on Friday afternoon.
And did not get a deal done there.
Many folks on Twitter, especially my good friend Jackson Phil, joking that he realized he'd have to be snapping the ball to Russ Wilson and, have Russ Wilson touching some underparts and said, no thanks, I'd rather go hang out with Trevor Lawrence.
No, near the package.
With that, let's hit another that, JJ.
All right.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, this one's a little out of the ordinary. This isn't Ian Rappaport and Mike Garafolo on their phones, and then we see the tweet. Apparently, the Bills' purging of cap space has continued, Leon. They have released Deion Dawkins, the offensive tackle, who's been with them for quite some time. No reporter broke the news. He actually just tweeted out or posted on his Instagram story, I should say, "It was good while it lasted, Buffalo. Excited for this next chapter of my football career. Wonder if it is okay to eat ranch now," and then tweeted out the screen grab of it with a walking emoji.
So Deion Dawkins is a left tackle, right? Oh, wow. The shirtless Deion Dawkins that does the interviews, right? It's a solid offensive lineman. Josh Allen is not vouching for any of these guys.
He cannot be happy.
He can't be happy. And usually when you got your left tackle that's been there for a minute, you vouch for him. Hey, let's find a way to keep him around. Obviously, they're moving on to greener pastures.
And I'm trying to think of, I'll look up the salary cap situation, but they're certainly not in a good one. And so they're having to off cash, which is why Mitch Morse was cut, released, and then he was free to make a deal before free agency even began. And then in the case of Dawkins, wow, that is interesting.
Right, if you're offloading your starting left tackle
and your center,
bro.
Yeah, that's 2/5. That's two good fifths of that offensive
and
line.
they restructured Dawson Knox's contract this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying everyone wants to talk about how this team needs to hit on its draft picks. Buffalo is facing a situation akin to Kansas City over the last few years, in which if they don't hit on a Trent McDuffie, if they don't hit on a L'Jarius Sneed, our favorite running back in the NFL in the 7th round, they're not in the situation they are. Because of Josh Allen's contract, the Buffalo Bills are now entering that part of their window. I'm curious if it works out for them, just because if you look at their track record, well, certainly they've hit on draft picks over the last few years. No offense, I don't want to bring a cane down, but our friend Greg Rousseau, good player. Is he an alpha number 1 edge rusher right now for them? Von Miller's getting up there in years. A.J. Epenesa's going to get a bag, is going to leave Buffalo most likely. But at the same time, he didn't come to fruition until his 4th year of his rookie contract.
Yeah, I feel like, Vaughn was obviously the alpha dog. And then he didn't even really get in and cleared for a while, and then he certainly wasn't himself. And I actually thought Rousseau did step up. Epinesa definitely did. Mm-hmm. But Rousseau,
in his
I thought
4th
still.
Year.
Yeah, yeah, definitely against the Jags, but also as a whole, he showed up and played. I thought Rousseau was pretty good. But they've lost. Remember all the losses that they had on the defense? Tre'Davious White and on and on and on. Mm-hmm. Milano, all those guys that got hurt. So that definitely had a negative impact on them. All right, 641-1010. You guys can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Your wants, your wishes, your tampering. I mean, just tamper with whatever you want. And propose an idea of what you think the Jags might be able to do today. We're going to set up an X poll on the Calvin versus T, JJ. If you can, go ahead and hit that.
Yeah, it's been out for a few minutes now, but really simple. What would you rather the Jaguars do? Trade for T. Higgins, who, if you haven't heard, he requested a trade from Cincinnati earlier today, or bring back Calvin Ridley? Right now, 75% want to trade for T. Higgins over bringing back Calvin Ridley.
Okay, so I'm asked this basic question, and I think it's probably whatever is shiny and new off in the distance. I'd rather have that than what I had here. I get that part of it, but who's more of a one, a Calvin Ridley or a T. Higgins? And I'm not going to say that T can't be that, but he has profited off of Jamar Chase on the other side. Yeah. Let's be real, sirs. He has so who would you rather have?
Well, the thing is that Calvin Ridley didn't have a 1 here and didn't show to be a 1. At least T. Higgins is a 2 where there's actually a 1 on the team. So I'm saying we thought Calvin Ridley was going to come here and be the 1. Yeah, and he wasn't.
It's so funny. He flashed
Higgins,
at times.
He did. But, I mean, T. Higgins understands that he's got a legitimate number 1 on his team. The best he could be is a 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And look, as far as a big body target, Matt, we're talking his Clemson ties, the familiarity with Trevor. I mean, there's a lot of good there. And it didn't seem like there was a lot of kicking and scratching to keep Calvin here.
I know.
Before. What do you got?
Deion Dawkins now, according to Schefter, is apparently signing a 3-year, $60 million extension.
Oh, my gosh.
He really messed with us like that?
Come on. Don't tamper with your own deal,
wow.
Deion. Don't tamper with your own deal.
He told him it was gone, and they panicked.
Yeah, maybe.
I think he offended the people of Buffalo with the ranch comment, though. I'm not sure he's going to be allowed back in anyways.
And by the way, I'm all about not dipping the wing in ranch. So I'm up there at the Anchor Bar in Buffalo. I'm with them 100%.
What was your question again? I'm sorry.
All right, I forgot. All right,
that was wild, though, because I swear that was not a fake. Like, this is from Deion Dawkins' Twitter account with 130,000 followers.
That's awesome. All right, I'm going to ask you this question in just a second, Matt. Mokama Beer Company Monday. Let's say thanks to them. Mokama Beer Company, they are up in the beautiful Fernandina Beach area right there on South 8th Street, the historic area. As you're entering it, you'll see that awesome tap room. It's an old 50s car dealership as you're heading in on the left-hand side, and they serve coffee every day, craft. Their craft beer is outstanding Tuesday through Sunday, and don't forget their new Wildlight location. So you got 2 locations up in Nassau County. The Wildlight, you can find Mokama beer on the shelves at Total Wine or ABC Liquors as well, so definitely check them out. So here's the question real quick, is we've got so much to tear into, but Bush Drive Rich saying, hey, please explain to Duval why Leggett is a perfect fit for us. Talking about ex-Leggett, Xavier Leggett, South Carolina Gamecock, had a really good season and maybe, a season and a third, basically, of performance. Even the
third. He's had 1 season, basically.
Yeah,
I think
he flashed here.
That's the red in the Gator Bowl.
In the Gator Bowl.
That's the red flag with him is He played 5 years at South Carolina. He had one good season. But, man, he is as much of a doppelganger for DK Metcalf as you can get. Mm-hmm. And if you remember, DK Metcalf, he bloomed late as well at Ole Miss. I'm not saying they're the same guy. All I'm saying is you've got a guy that's 6'3", 228 pounds. It's a big dude that can run, that can frame defenders. He could be a guy that it's 3rd and 6 and you need to play. Mm-hmm. You can run that slant because he's so big he can frame guys off. So it's I think he's a good player, but I absolutely would agree with those who think, well, where the hell was he for 4 years? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How did it just start clicking now?
Yeah, you can't help but ask that question.
Clearly it was a money year. Like, this is his last year, so he's playing for money at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and all of a sudden his production goes way up.
Yeah, and look, we've seen a lot of guys do that. We've seen him here, and Josh Allen, and for that matter, Jawan Taylor, but we'll find out whether or not that's the case.
By the way, Deion Dawkins has since followed up the cryptic tweet. Y'all are cray. Why would I ever leave Buffalo? I'm never leaving, guy. I'm Buffalo for life.
He just loved it. Huh?
Snow emojis.
Mm. All right.
Tampering. Wait, Joe, you called for tampering of all kinds today, and you're getting it.
I mean, just tamper away. So Deion dove right in and was part of his own storyline. All right, we're going to keep an eye on the Calvin news. We're going to keep an eye on T. Higgins. We got to get into Mac Jones. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to buy a first-round contract, even though it's still in this rookie contract in Mac Jones for a backup? Let's ask that question as we go along today. It is XL Primetime. Hang out with us. You can find us on YouTube. Just search 1010XL or hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. 1010XL.
I'm talking about friendship, loyalty, honor. Okay?
Honored to be your friend. Honored to serve you Jacksonville Sports Radio.
That's the corniest thing I've ever heard.
1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Get ahead of the changing season with Fenwick Home Services by scheduling your AC tune-up now. Our service experts will perform a multi-point cleaning and inspection that will breathe new life into your system and help prevent breakdowns. Whether you need routine maintenance, repairs, or are ready for system upgrades, Fenwick has you covered with 24/7 availability. That's right, 24/7 availability. Book your visit online at FenwickHomeservices.com/1010XL.
Mia here, and if you're still in the hunt for a sportsbook to call home, bet the nonstop action of the madness with MyBookie. MyBookie is a one-stop shop for all your sports betting and casino needs, complete with a real-life Vegas experience right from the comfort of your phone. Take your viewing experience to the next level with real-time live betting that lets you stream and bet the games right from the MyBookie website. Sign up now and take advantage of a generous welcome bonus on your first deposit, all the way up to $1,000. Put in $200, get $300 ready to play instantly using promo code 1010XL. And the fun doesn't stop there. You'll get up-to-the-minute odds, props, and this week's expert predictions to help you decide who to put your money on. Put in $200, get $300 ready to play instantly using promo code 1010XL. The best part about MyBookie, you can bet on anything, anytime, from anywhere. Use promo code 1010XL to secure your welcome bonus today, only with MyBookie.
Get ready for the Players' Championship, March 12th through 17th at TPC Sawgrass. Don't miss your chance to watch the PGA Tour's best compete to etch their name in history while enjoying a vibrant social scene. From local bites to the latest merchandise available in the PGA Tour fan shop, the Players offers the ultimate experience for everyone to enjoy. Secure your spot today. Tickets are on sale now at theplayers.com.
Clearwater. John, I can't even mow my side yard. It's so soggy. Man, my builder sucks.
Brent, calm down. This is a common problem in neighborhoods where houses are built too close together. You need gutters and a properly installed French drain that will soak up subsurface water. We can completely dry it up.
So I can take my builder off my speed dial now, huh?
Yeah, we got you, buddy. Let that builder bitterness go.
Clearwater Irrigation and Drainage too.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Is your roof showing signs of wear and tear? Call Universal Roof and Contracting today to schedule your complimentary roof inspection. Right now, get $200 off your roof replacement plus flexible financing. And as a bonus, receive free wind mitigation with a full roof replacement. This offer expires March 31st and restrictions apply. Universal Roof and Contracting, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. From the very beginning, 1010XL has encouraged and recognized the accomplishments of local scholar athletes.
Wednesdays on The Frangie Show.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
And the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
Hey gang, Hicken here. March is Workplace Eye Wellness Awareness Month. Here's a tip for those in front of a computer all day. Follow the 20-20-20 rule. Set a timer as a reminder to look 20 feet away every 20 minutes for 20 seconds. This can be as simple as looking away from your computer screen or out the window. If virtual meetings keep you in your seat for extended time, shut your eyes for 20 seconds. Call or visit bowdeneye.com today to schedule your consultation. Bowden Eye, keeping the First Coast focused.
Crosser here. When it comes to the business of selling your home, there's one promise I can give you that will deliver, and that promise is ChadandSandy.com. That's Chad, A-N-D, Sandy.com. How do I know this promise is guaranteed? Because they say so and then they deliver. You see, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. So whatever problems you think you're having selling your home, there is your simple solution. They're going to buy it if it's not sold for exactly what you want. Mortgage rates have lowered going into the spring selling season. Now is the time to maximize your equity, and you can do it with the real estate team of Chad and Sandy. They have a plan and the experience to sell your home fast for maximum cash this spring. John and Ursula in Green Meadows wrote in, we weren't in great health, decided to downsize to an easier place to manage. After 185 days, our home failed to sell. We went to Chad and Sandy, sold in 12 days. You can too at ChadandSandy.com.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
This is former NFL quarterback David Garrard. If your knees have taken a beating and you're finally ready to do something about it, then let Southeast Orthopedic take a look. Come on, do your knees a favor.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Grilling up lunch with Leon and the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose on 1010XL.
While the NFL's league year won't officially begin until Wednesday at 4 p.m., the legal tampering window, a.k.a. when players, agents, teams can begin negotiating contract extensions with unrestricted free agents, is officially open as of 32 minutes ago. We are keeping you posted on all of the action from around the National Football League as well as here in Duval locally. This is XL Primetime. Mia O'Brien, Joe C., Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, JJ LaSelva. Round of applause, JJ, because for the first time in, I believe, 3 weeks, the gang is all back together. And we have our wonderful intern tag team of Jacob and John here, too, making sure that we get all the video and photos, too.
It's picture day.
It's picture day. Candid picture day.
I feel like the pioneer woman because she has still photos and live cams going the whole time. So Jacob's like getting the snapshots and Party's got the video rolling.
Party's just really hoping the Calvin Ridley news breaks in the next half hour while he's filming
What are you doing with your
us.
hair, Party? Yeah. Seriously. What's going on? It's getting too long.
He's letting the locks go, man.
I'm not jealous at all. I'm just saying it needs to be trimmed, bro. Come on.
No.
You're getting a little too Bama bangs. Too much.
Should I have said something to him? Because he asked me last week about preparing for the players this week and what the apparel and attire should look like.
You look a little whammish. You ever seen the movie?
Listen, don't be afraid, dude. Let it go. Let it go.
Wham, he looks.
And it's not even party in the back, business up front. Just let it go, man.
Party all day. Well said. Well said. Well, it is a party all day. I said it at the top of the show, and I'll say it again. Best episode of the season. Best episode of the year on XL Primetime. We will be locked with plenty of that and plenty of reaction. But let's reset once more with the biggest news from Jaguar land over the past 48 hours. The first, a bit of stunning news that the Jaguars traded a 6th-round pick, the 192nd overall pick yesterday, for former 15th overall selection Mac Jones, who, of course, originally born and raised here in Jacksonville, a product of the Bulls School, then the University of Alabama, where he was a Heisman finalist, won a national title, drafted 15th overall by the New England Patriots, went to the Pro Bowl his rookie year, and then everything came crumbling down in the following two, in which he did not have an offensive coordinator in one of those years. And so that's why, boys, as we kind of look at this Mac Jones situation that had Twitter and Instagram and every social media site abuzz yesterday, I think it's important to note that, number one, this is the 192nd overall pick. This is a pick that traditionally, if you're Doug Peterson, if you're any NFL operation, you're typically targeting a developmental quarterback at that stage of the game. This is the equivalent of if you were to take Carter Bradley, Austin Reed, Devin Leary. Now, those of you who've made that argument and are on the opposite side of me say, well, you would have 4 years of team control over those guys and they'd be cheaper than Mac Jones. That is true. But this move all but says that Doug Peterson said, number one, maybe this is our best option as a backup quarterback. And number two, I don't like any of these day 3 quarterbacks. I want to opt for a guy who's already played in the league for 3 years.
All right, so if you go back in time, Gardner Minshew was a 6th-round pick. He best represents, to Jaguar fan out there, Duval, Land. That's what 6th-round picks at that position can bring you. Minshew Mania was one of the funnest times this fan base has had in a long, long time. And he's proven that he can start in the National Football League. Just look at what he did this year. And so I'm okay with that. But the one thing I do concern myself with, Leon, is that it is a first-round rookie contract as opposed to what Mia just described, an affordable 6th-rounder. You control their rights going forward. Do they need to make sure that they're better at the backup quarterback, and are they bringing a favorite son of sorts home? That's okay. That's fine, but I just don't know that it wasn't the most important.
I mean, yeah, it could be a publicity stunt. I mean, he's well-loved and liked here in Jacksonville. He's a native boy, had success here, went on to win a national championship at Alabama, and it was a first-round pick. Obviously, he struggled up here in New England. I mean, he's got to have some value. I mean, you just don't go pick guys.
Right.
You got to have some value. Yeah, he's not going to be a threat to Trevor Lawrence. This notion over the weekends that Mac Jones come here, he's going to light a fire in Trevor Lawrence's ass. Listen, if Trevor Lawrence needs Mac Jones to light a fire in his ass, we don't have the quarterback that we think we
If anyone other than Trevor Lawrence lights a fire in his ass, we got problems.
Exactly.
Look, I honestly think what this was,
But that light and fire stuff still needs to happen.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I honestly think what happened is they saw the way he played against the Panthers, C.J. Beathard, and said, no, not happening. Just not happening, okay? And it's – my guess is Trevor Lawrence probably should have sat more than one game last year because he was hurt. I mean, he got dinged up.
Right, and they did not feel –
But they didn't feel comfortable enough to put C.J. Beathard in that streak of games where they needed a win.
Yeah, and you could go forward or backward. In other words – the Carolina in the Tennessee game or the Bucks in the Carolina game.
You're not taking on that contract knowing you're going to have to do something in the following year unless you really know we don't have the right backup quarterback. That's kind of my point.
What was the cost
It's more
difference?
about C.J. Beathard than it is about Mac Jones.
It wasn't
$330,000
Yeah.
is the difference between the cap hit because the Jaguars won't inherit the prorated signing bonus because Mac already got that money. So his cap number will be $2.7 million. That's $330,000 more than C.J. Beathard. Mike Dempsey did remind me as he was leaving the building that there would be a $500,000 dead cap number. So, I mean, what, $800,000?
Right. So, but my point
difference?
is you're going to have to make a decision on Mac Jones the following year.
Sure.
Fifth-year option,
Right.
as Mason
But that's going to be a huge jump from what you're paying him now.
Let's get ready for that. But it's so funny because I don't think they're going to make a decision to pick up anything with him unless they sign him to an affordable contract.
I agree with that. That kind of goes even more to what I was saying. This is about C.J. Beathard. This is not about Mac Jones.
Might be.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, here's our first big surprise of the day, and it does involve the AFC South. The Minnesota Vikings are signing Houston Texans edge rusher and former Florida Gator Jonathan Grenard, according to the NFL Network's Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero. Curious, considering Grenard was rumored to have interest from the Chicago Bears, but also this all but signals, I would think, Leon, that Minnesota says we're not going to be able to pay Danielle Hunter's asking price. We need to change up our defensive line strategy. They have a couple other guys that are also pending free agents. Oh, and by the way, he's out of the division and he's out of Houston. And Houston now has a gaping hole opposite Will Anderson.
Former Gator and a guy that I really liked. Now, he was a guy that came in late in Gainesville, but flashed and definitely – We talked to him at the Senior Bowl. He's a guy that you looked at him and you said, okay, this guy's got potential to be able to come off the edge. And, yeah, he's been successful. He's made a decent
Situational guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's made a decent living in the National Football League. You know, he's an Arden Key-esque type of guy where he can step up and make plays for you. So that's the bottom line. And so as you take a look at a guy like that and you're just kind of looking around inside this division, you know, how much is going to change with all the other teams that are out there and who's going to be in the hunt for whom now that this legal tampering period has taken place? Because you're talking about pretty big shifts in a lot of other towns, and we already know that quarterbacks have been found in 3 of our AFC South cities this past offseason. I wonder what's going to be the big move and the dollars that are out there for these other 3 teams and some of the decisions that they're making. One, at the very least, to keep an eye on is the Titans, according to Jeremy Fowler, are interested in Calvin Ridley. That at least that is one of the teams. Fowler writes, now that Calvin Ridley is set to be a free agent, Jags, Patriots expected to make pushes. The Titans and Panthers also could be in the wide receiver market. So that second half of that Jeremy Fowler post, a little more vague, but it doesn't mean that the Titans wouldn't be looking at him.
I'm getting a kick out of the YouTube chat line. Mac Jones' 5th-year option is $25 million, to which someone else says, you decline the 5th, you can always sign him to a backup deal if you cut C.J. Beathard. To which Chris says, if he wants you to do that. Mac Jones is just trying to stay in the league at this point, my man. Like, if anything, what I think, and I tweeted this yesterday, is so fascinating. If Mac Jones wasn't from Jacksonville, if there weren't people walking around the city that have a particular impression of him because he went to the bowl school his entire education, I think that this would be a very different conversation. Considering that the San Francisco 49ers a year ago, 1 year ago, had Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, and Sam Darnold in that quarterback room. No one was saying anything about them signing Sam Darnold or bringing him into the fold. No one really said all that much when they said we're moving on from Trey Lance. I mean, yes, it was obviously a talking point, but it wasn't like this massive conversation of why do we have so many first-round former picks in our quarterback room. Yeah, it was not a conversation of we picked the 7th-round guy over the 2 former first-round picks.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure in that market they were flipping and tripping that they had wasted all that draft capital on Trey Lance. So they definitely probably had him as a talking point, but they also were stoked that Brock Purdy had stepped up and basically had been able to do what he had done. And let's not forget, Sam Darnold was a number 3 overall pick as well. And he was a bit of a bust because he was on his 3rd team when he went to San Francisco this past year. Let's do another that. But I need to hear what you think the other part of that conversation would be with Mac Jones if he weren't from here.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
According to my good friends Cole Thompson and Aaron Wilson in Houston, the Tennessee Titans are expected to sign running back Tony Pollard, now formerly of the Dallas Cowboys. So they move on from Derrick Henry. They move on to Tony Pollard in Nash Vegas.
Yeah, you figure the last great running back has played on one team his entire career. That's the end of it, is it not? Mm-hmm. Really? DeAndre Swift we just mentioned him. He's played on 3 teams, will have played on 3 teams in 3 years. And Tony Pollard was tagged, right? He was tagged and then gone. And Derrick Henry, we're talking about one of the last great running backs.
So does that mean the Cowboys are in the Derrick Henry sweepstakes? I mean, because they've been linking him to going to the Cowboys.
Yeah, might be.
Might be.
And they definitely want something to pair up with Dak Prescott, to have the play action, to not waste all the other good that they have around Dak, including CeeDee Lamb in the season that he had. heck, that would be a waste of time.
And behind that offensive line, holy cow.
Bro, the fact that he got over 1,000 yards behind that line is amazing.
It really is. You start looking at some of the numbers he was able to do, especially he didn't crank Derrick Henry, the Diesel, until basically like October. He went through like 4 or 5 games where things just weren't really popping at the beginning.
If he's healthy and motivated, he might hit 1,500 again.
Did you guys see some of that workout that he was doing over the weekend?
Golly.
My God, man. Leon.
Yeah.
Like, I know that you can take some dumbbells and do work with them, but did you see what Derrick Henry was doing?
That's a grown man.
Yeah.
Grown-ass man.
Leon, he doesn't do dumbbells anymore, man. It's not good for you.
Yeah.
That's true, bro.
You are getting away from dumbbells?
Yeah, bro. You start pulling stuff. You start pushing stuff up.
Too much stress.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's smart.
So what are you doing, like resistant bands?
Bro, never.
Well, then what are you doing?
What are you doing?
He's pushing instead of pulling.
No, yeah. I'm
I
doing
see.
more stuff that you pull and stuff. Shrugs,
pulling and stuff.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of motion. Nothing above the head.
Exactly. And you and I talked about that a ton.
Oh, no.
You want to mess up a shoulder?
Easy.
Just start lifting weight above your head. It is not a smart move at all. All right, so get back to the
Mac Jones
if
conversation.
he weren't from here, how would it be perceived differently?
I mean, if it was Zach Wilson, again, negative connotation towards who that person, player has been on and off the field, or at least the fact that he was the 2nd overall pick. The Jets took a chance on him. It didn't work out. His mom's videos on TikTok. I think
He'd be loving Pontevedra right now.
Exactly.
Anyway, go ahead.
But I think that, again, there would be that negative connotation as well. But, like, let's say this was, I don't know, Sam Howell. Let's say it was Sam Howell who, to his credit, at different points last year led the NFL in passing yards. The situation around him was crumbling, though. I think if the Jaguars were to have flipped, and granted, again, he has 2 years of team control, Mac Jones has 1. I think if you flip, a 5th for him or a 4th for him, I think people would panic about the compensation because he'd be the backup. But at the same time, I think that there is just something about when people heard Mac Jones, who's from here, and there are people who like him and there are people who don't, it all of a sudden, like my Twitter timeline, I don't know about you, Joe, but it was filled with people pulling up videos of him tripping defensive players and, look at him at Alabama and he got a DUI once upon a time. Like, I don't know about you, but that was like the first thing I saw. And that has nothing to do with Mac Jones, the player, in addition to the point you already made, which is he needs a new change of scenery. We forget that this guy, and yes, it was Alabama, but he did lead them to a national title not too long ago.
Yeah, it's so funny that nobody is lukewarm on social. They're just not. They need to either pounce or praise.
It's the
they
worst
don't do
or the
anything
best.
half-assed.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Let me just say this real quick. I got to circle back to Jonathan Grenard because he's getting $42 million guaranteed, 74 total deal, right? $42 million guaranteed. You want to know what his numbers were in the last 4 years?
What was the total
Wasn't
number?
anything until Will Anderson arrived.
74, I think, total, but 42 of it's guaranteed.
But spread over
3 years.
3 years.
Okay? He's never played a full season. That's number one. Never. His sacks, he had 12.5 last year once Will Anderson arrived. Year before, he had 1.5. He played in 8 games. Year before that, he had 8 sacks, played in 13 games. The year before that, he had 1 sack. $42 million you're giving that guy for that career. I'll tell you what, if I'm Josh Allen and I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, I'm about to get paid, man.
Okay, so, all right, let's make this the 10-10 take because I want to come back to you and ask you whether it's a good thing or a bad thing as these other things are falling right now.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since 68.
Good barbecue, you're going to get it at Sonny's, and they are up early to make sure that happens. So if you're traveling into our area, look for one of your area Sonny's, and don't forget great barbecue whenever you're planning a party. Now, the news of Josh Allen getting tagged, for the most of the fan base out there, they said, that stinks. He needs to get a long-term contract. He deserves it. And I totally get it. I always felt like at the end he's going to get his money and he's going to be happy because he is going to get some long-term deal at some point. Let's pair up with what Matt just said because now when the deal does happen, these numbers are just going to continue to go up. Okay, he's averaging, or he will get paid, $24 million this year, and he could be averaging 27, 29, 30 million when it's all said and done. So the 10-10 take is Josh Allen should be happy the further along he gets with this because some other, let's just call Jonathan Grenard a medium performance guy, getting some good dough. That's the 10
he's
10
about
10.
a
What do you think?
About a 6 on a scale of 10, Grenard. 5.5,
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
He's just a solid guy.
Right.
Solid guy. He's got $42 million guaranteed. 74 total. So I and again, we've all gone after Josh Allen. We've all said he needs to be more of a dog, an alpha dog. We've all said, where was he for those 8 games when he literally went 8 games without a sack?
Mm-hmm.
It was 2 years ago. But if you look at his rookie season, 10.5 sacks. The COVID season, I'd take that out for everybody. 2021, 7.5 sacks. 2022, 7 sacks. 2023, 17.5.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, it jumped when it was his payday. But he's been relatively consistent. He's been along that Grenard, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying it, path.
Right.
Even though he is a much different player than Jonathan Grenard and has a much higher ceiling than Jonathan Grenard.
Mm-hmm.
And then he showed it last year. So if my whole point is if Jonathan Grenard's getting that kind of money, this is very good news.
Yeah, I think you can't help but
Very
treat it
good
as a positive when it's all said and done.
Yeah, he's going to get double. He's got to get double of what he
at
guaranteed.
least.
So I mean, if you're Josh
As
Allen,
far as guaranteed, you mean?
guaranteed money.
Yeah, at least.
He's got to get at least in the range of 80 to 85 million guaranteed.
Chris Jones is good for him, too. The
Absolutely.
contract he signed.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you said that.
Yes.
Number 95 got $95 million
guaranteed,
and all of it's guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good thing.
Absolutely.
For anybody who's out
Plus,
there
and I was talking with Leon.
Leon.
I don't know if he tried, but he easily could have argued, I'm an end, too.
Well, I mean,
could have argued that.
Listen, he's disruptive no matter where he goes, interiorly or outside, left or right. No tackle wants to see him.
Yeah.
Are we ready to talk pressures again?
Uh-huh.
I didn't even realize this, Matt. And this actually will tie into another name that I've heard the Jaguars could have interest in, so we'll table that one as well. Jonathan Grenard generated a career-high 15.7% pressure rate last season, including a 19.3% pressure rate in the second half of the year. That was 5th highest in the NFL during that span, again from weeks 8 to 16. Josh Allen was 2nd during that time, Micah Parsons 1st, Nick Bosa 3rd, Bryce Huff of the New York Jets 4th at 19.8%. He is also an unrestricted free agent as of 50 minutes ago. So, again.
Was Josh Allen over 20%?
Yes, 20.2.
Yeah.
And Grenard was 19.3. And again, this is a small sample size, second half of the year, but from weeks 8 to 16. And so that's where I think if you're the Vikings, again, akin to the Jaguars last year, where you're banking on pressures turning into more sacks and continued development, that's why they make this deal, and because they know Danielle Hunter is out of their price range. From what I've been told from when I was in Indianapolis with regards to Danielle Hunter, since I see several of you on the YouTube chat line bringing up that unrestricted free hit, that Danielle Hunter being an unrestricted free agent as well. Could the Jaguars have interest? I was told that Danielle likes to keep his money. So Florida and Texas were definitely on the radar. Great guy from people who I've also spoken with who coached him in college and also coached him in Minnesota. So, the interest between the Jaguars and him, yes, has been uncanny over the last 18 months. Not really sure financially how they will swing it if that was to be an avenue. That's where I think a Bryce Huff or, the Josh Uche notion that I've seen floated too probably is a little more realistic. At the very least, I would expect the Jaguars to add some help along the defensive line over the next 48 hours because I think they realize that, well, yes, they hedged their bet last year on development, akin to what the Vikings are doing now with Grenard. They hedged their bet on Josh Allen will take the next step and Trayvon Walker will take the next step, but both those guys were still playing 85% of the snaps.
Yeah,
Ryan Nielsen up in Atlanta had such a stable of pass rushers. He wants to rotate guys, play them in multiple positions. You need to start building up a farm system.
Ryan Nielsen in Atlanta, and this number will stick in my head. Nobody had more than 7 sacks. And when we pair up 17.5, double digits for Trayvon, that Atlanta was mixing it up because and look, this is the classic. If they're going up against I'm gonna say old in a figurative way, Leon, okay? Old number 72, and you're playing every snap, they want as many fresh bodies lining up across from you and trying to get around you. And that's what depth does. That's what the defensive line is. You basically have 6, 7, 8 starters is how you got to look at it.
Well, listen, I accept the old label, by the way. But when I was with the Ravens, the reason why the Ravens defense was so phenomenal is because when we on third down situations, I never saw the same guy all the time.
Yeah.
It was either Rob Burnett or it was Peter Borware. And so those two guys, they kept guys fresh on me and Tony when we played. They had a nice little rotation of guys. That's the reason why they had so much success as a defensive front, is they keep those guys going. Now, I used to give them the business when they used to tap out, when we did those little long drives. When I see them tapping out trying to get some rest, I say, look, you tired? You know what I'm saying? Because, as a lineman, you can't tap out.
Well, speaking of tired, in a negative sense, let's hit one more of that before we head into the 1 o'clock hour, JJ.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Packers are releasing David Bakhtiari. Their now former left tackle has announced on his personal social channels. I can't even remember the last time he played a full season. Can you guys?
It's been 3 years.
Yeah.
Because 2 years were interrupted at the bare minimum with the knee injury. And then this past year, it has to be at least 3 years. Because this past year, minus Aaron Rodgers, he didn't really pop on the radar until towards the end of the year. Remember, he was trying to get going at the end.
Yeah. That's sad because, early on, he had a promise. He looked like he was going to be a promising left tackle at Green Bay.
Yeah, devastating injury.
Yeah, devastating.
5-time All-Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty good stuff. And, heck, I don't know how many games, JJ, if you have it there, but he would kind of fall in that big bow category as far as
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like he wasn't the best at his position.
He was close.
But he was really damn good.
Mm-hmm.
5-time All-Pro.
Yeah, that's what JJ just said. That's pretty dang good, Anyway.
And he's played, he's been in the league since 2013. So akin to Big Bo, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. An 8-year stretch. It's literally identical to Tony Baselli.
Mm-hmm.
An 8-year stretch in which he was an All-Pro multiple times. So this says
131 games.
Okay, that's a bunch more. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
thanks.
more games overall, but it's been 3 straight injury-riddled
I was thinking,
seasons.
last 3 years.
Last 3 years, he's played in 13 games combined.
That hurts. Yeah, that definitely hurts. You just get in a tough spot. All right, Mokama Beer Company, they bring you today's show coffee every single day. The beautiful tap room, they're waiting for you. Their new Wildlight location waiting for you. Craft beer Tuesday through Sunday, and great creations like the Motor. You guys know that I love the IPAs, and so the Cosmico is just outstanding. Rare Cargo, when they box that up and bringing it out, make sure you pick up a 6-pack of that. If you find it at Total Wine or ABC, make sure you check both of them out. All right, so we're going to get into the 1 o'clock hour, keeping an eye on all these big names that are out there right now.
And we also, of course, will be monitoring the T. Higgins situation, since so many of you on the YouTube chat and the the text line, Design My Lifetime Enclosures. Ooh, man, if we open up the pop-off line, we may be inviting even more chaos and tampering, if you may. But our question of the day, brought to you by Beaver Toyota: would you rather the Jaguars trade for T. Higgins or bring back Calvin Ridley? Currently, with 424 votes cast, 67.2% of you want the Big Cats to trade for T. Higgins. What would it take to accomplish such a trade, as the Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver who was tagged a few weeks ago has announced, or rather his camp has announced, that they are seeking a trade? We will discuss that and more coming up in the 1 o'clock hour of XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. It's so much more than great golf.
It's my favorite week of the year.
Track your favorite golfers and get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates from the players.
Brought to you by
Monahan Jewelers, Coastal Equipment, and Roundtree Sod.
Tired of dealing with clogged drains? What about those bad smells coming from your pipes? No matter how big or small your commercial or residential project may be, my friends at Duck Duck Rooter can handle it. Contact them today for all your plumbing, septic, and air conditioning needs at 904-862-6769. And while I have your attention, Duck Duck Rooter is also hiring plumbers. They offer excellent weekly pay, health insurance, paid holidays, 401k, and more. Apply now at duckduckrooter.com and they will call you for an interview.
What makes a Honda certified pre-owned vehicle so special? 182-point inspection, 24/7 roadside assistance, first-year free oil changes, and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for carefree driving backed by American Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon for QC Kinetics. This is the time of year to enjoy life. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you love to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. Set up a free consultation. Call them at 904-274-5522. They've got 2 great locations,
Mandarin, and Ponte Vedra Beach. Go see them. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It's a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you. So you can walk and run and climb stairs and play golf and move again pain-free. 904-274-5522. That's QC Kinetics. Call them today.
Get ready for the Players' Championship, March 12th through 17th at TPC Sawgrass. Don't miss your chance to watch the PGA Tour's best compete to etch their name in history while enjoying a vibrant social scene. From local bites to the latest merchandise available in the PGA Tour fan shop, the Players offers the ultimate experience for everyone to enjoy. Secure your spot today. Tickets are on sale now at theplayers.com.
Mia here for Window Gang. Window Gang is more than America's leader in window cleaning. They're total pros with a full range of exterior cleaning services to maintain the look and safety of any commercial property. Storefronts, apartments, condominiums, and office buildings. Fully insured and bonded, great prices and satisfaction guaranteed. Call Window Gang at 262-7300 to schedule your free estimate and be sure to ask about their New Year's specials. Window Gang at 262-7300.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and I'm happy to see so many others make the same 180 with their weight loss and start with Awaken 180 weight loss. Hacker, he's now down 25 pounds in just 2 weeks. Amazing results, lifetime results with the solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 weight loss.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O. If you want high-quality H2O in your home, call your local water boy, Keith, at Kenai Water Jacksonville. That's Kenai Water Jacksonville.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband and wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
When it comes to commercial fence services, Superior Fence and Rail has you covered. If your business needs automatic gates or security fence and railings, trust Superior with your next commercial project. Superior's team delivers great communication, high-quality products, and exceptional customer service. Just read any of their 2,300-plus reviews.
When you're on the fence about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners, Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley, have been helping first-time homebuyers with their mortgage financing all over Florida for 34 years. First-time homebuyers can get no or low down payments, anywhere from 0 to 3.5% down. As a first-time homebuyer with Trustline Mortgage, you get added benefits for doing your loan with us, like lower rates on your mortgage insurance and lower closing costs. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Trustline gives first-time homebuyers better mortgage interest rates? Here's the bottom line. Trustline Mortgage wants to help first-time homebuyers accomplish your goal of home ownership. That's why Trustline Mortgage is offering the best first-time homebuyer benefits around, period. Trustline Mortgage delivers with no and low down payments, lower closing costs, and better interest rates. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. That's 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you buy your dream home. Or visit our website at trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing opportunity. MLS number 331480.
This is Hayes Carlyon for SkyLife Elite. Have you ever thought about aircraft ownership as another potential revenue stream and as a tool for tax savings? Put your tax money to work for you while enjoying the benefits of private personal travel. SkyLife Elite has over a decade of experience in business aviation and can guide you through the process with their expert staff. Call my friends over at SkyLife Elite at 490-9332 or find them at flyskylife.com to get the rundown on everything owning an airplane can do for you.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. We had breaking Jaguars news during the drill this morning. and Dan Hicken was excited about it.
Well, the Jaguars have agreed to terms with center Mitch Morse. 2 years, $10.5 million deal, $7 million guaranteed, according to Mike Garofalo. Released by the Bills last week, reunites with Doug Peterson as offensive coordinator with the Chiefs. It makes me want to go into song as we welcome Freddie T to the program. Hallelujah.
Fred, you don't want to hear the song.
Hallelujah.
Dan Hicken this morning on The Drill. The reported deal from Mitch Morse to the Jaguars won't be official until Wednesday at 4 p.m. when the new NFL league year begins. It's right now 62 degrees at 103. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Grilling up lunch with Leon and the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose on 1010XL.
1 o'clock hours here. It's XL Primetime. Full gang in the house. Joe C., Mia O'Brien, Matty Hayes, Big Searcy, and JJ, thanks to Mokama Beer Company. They bring you Monday's show. And I tell you what, from today on, it's TPC week. It is the Players Championship week. And we are looking forward to being out on the lawn beginning tomorrow. And it's such a fun week, and the weather looks pretty dang good. It really does right now. So shout out to Lee Smith and everybody there, the volunteer chair, everybody that's working hard to make sure when they open the gates tomorrow, beginning with military appreciation and the Cole Swindell concert, that everything will be rocking and rolling. I have to admit, Taco Lou is on my brain for tomorrow, okay? I can't help it.
Will they be delivering for us again?
I hope. I'm reaching out to Donnie Nick. Now, they don't normally open today. Mondays is their day off, but they're opening, or they are open today because it's TPC week. And so, yeah, I'm going to be reaching out to Donnie. But just getting out there and just seeing all of our friends and everything like that, it's going to be great. Now, let's get to the T. Higgins talk, and then we'll get back to the Mac talk, and then also work in, the Mitch Morse conversation, because that is the most tangible thing that you've got right now. Mitch Morse has now agreed to terms. It'll become official when the new league year begins. He had been released by the Buffalo Bills, so he was free to pursue a new contract. Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, they were in it to win it. He is coming here. That is great news. On an affordable contract, too. So before we get to T, at least hit that.
Yeah, so I was first floated the thought of Mitch Morse and the fact that he had secured a visit with the Jaguars on Thursday. He was here all day on Saturday after visiting with the Pittsburgh Steelers on Friday. When I was told on Saturday, the negotiations that were going on downtown, the understanding was that it would be a one-year deal, somewhere between $6.5 and $8 million per year. The thought process is, hey, you bring in a veteran guy to stabilize your line while Luke Fortner still has 2 years to develop and or become more of your Tyler Shatley, your swing guard, your swing center. Ultimately, they decided on a 2-year deal with $10.5 million as the overall cost, $7 million of it guaranteed. I'll be curious to see once the cap number actually hits how exactly they're dividing up that $10.5 million over a 2-year period, knowing the initial goal of that $6.5 to $8 million range for year one. Could you? I mean, look, I'm not wishing this to happen because Mitch Morse was a top 15 center the last few years. Mm-hmm. But if it wasn't to work out and Luke Fortner was to somehow ascend, you also could then somehow slide him in the next year, although I know every one of you driving around right now is like, she's crazy. She's pushing for Fortner. We got the guy.
Yeah, and
just throwing it out there.
Yeah, but I just feel like you have to look ahead with the guy that you replace the other guy with. Because I don't – and I've asked you this question, sirs. Luke Fortner was in college for a long time because of the pandemic year. He was a super senior, and he now has 2 years under his belt in the NFL world. How much, quote, bigger, faster, stronger is a guy going to get heading into, let's just use it, using the Mitch Morse 1-year deal? He would be in his 4th year at that point. Mm-hmm. How much bigger, faster, stronger can he get?
Well, if I'm Fortner, I look at it like this, a situation like this. There are no losses in life, they're lessons, all right? So this is a lesson for Fortner. And it could be to his advantage. You're bringing in a guy to solidify the line, which means that you're not good enough, all right? The simple fact that you're not good enough. But somehow Fortner has got to get better. He gets overwhelmed on run blocking and pass protecting. We're bringing somebody in there who's going to solidify the offensive line And Fortner, I mean, this isn't career ending. This is a situation where he can learn from this and get better and can still be a viable commodity to the team in some capacity. You know, injuries happen, guys go down. So he's got to learn not only the center position, got to learn the guard position, which is pretty easy. Actually, it's probably easier to learn the guard position than the center position.
And he played that in
maneuver.
college.
Absolutely. So he can maneuver. So, I mean, and you got a guy who's 31 years old in Mitch Morse, who's been in the league for a while. You can mentor from him. You can learn a lot from him, how he trains, how he studies, and all that kind of stuff. Because most of the times, Fortner coming in here as a rookie, playing like everything he did on the fly. Yeah. But he's got to get stronger. Yeah. The first thing he needs to do before he does anything else is get in the weight room.
Because let's point out, if nothing else, the quote best ability is availability. He started 34 games.
He did.
And 2 playoff games.
That's true. But his run block percentage is terrible. Okay, it's
also,
one of the worst in the league.
I get it and everything, and let's hope it's an upgrade.
Yeah.
Mitch Morse is 31.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's played in the league a while.
And even though he stayed healthy, he played 1,100 snaps, I'm pretty sure. PFF put that number out there. Anyway, concussion history, but played healthy this past year, and pretty much 2 of the last 3 seasons played healthy. So that's good news.
Right. I mean, I think the plan that they're hoping for is not only does Fortner get bigger, but he learns a little something, and then becomes what they think he can become.
Yeah,
you know
Leon's
what I mean?
point.
But they can't wait
advantage.
right now. They cannot wait.
Exactly. You know, you can't wait. I mean, Mitch Morris is not the long-term solution. He's a quick fix. And hopefully, you know, that
hopefully he stays healthy.
Hopefully he stays healthy. He's got issues with concussions.
And he pushes Fortner.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of the hope upon hope is not only do you get a guy that can play and that's available, but that he pushes your young dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, competition. That's what we're looking for.
And to those of you who asked, you know, they were like, I saw a couple people like, you're hiding these scoops for us. Look, a lot of moving parts with this, and perhaps the biggest was the Jaguars were having these talks with Mitch Morse about bringing him in for a visit, and they wanted to make sure Luke Fortner at least, you know, they did him right, or did right by him, and let him know that they were bringing in this veteran center who, again, as I tweeted out, because I guess it needed further clarification, he's going to be the starter week 1, so long as he's healthy here in Jacksonville. Mitch Morse will be your starting center.
And honestly, I think most people, when they see the news, they know it, but they want to hear it as well because that is what he was brought in for, because you were not satisfied with your current group. And that's why I went back when we were having fun, when Mia was at the NFL Combine and we're talking about it. I'm like, they are telling you what is not true right now. When Doug Peterson says, we'd like to have our starting 5 back, they only played 1 game together, they were putting the smoke signal out and basically saying that is what we want you to think because we're going in another direction.
But to Doug Peterson's credit, he also followed that up with Luke has to be better. He knows where we need him to be. Yeah. And then, of course, the report from Mark Long, who, you know, I know who he spoke with, and that person said, we're going to look for a veteran center. And I've seen plenty of you on 1010XL social channels, and Leon, I'd love your take on this, you know, saying if you're Luke Fortner and you keep hearing our offensive line only played one game together, you know, we want to bring back as much of it as we can, and then the one wholesale change you make is the center, your position. If you're Luke Fortner, how are you feeling right now?
Well, I mean, you can't take it personal. This is a business. Absolutely. And you always got to ask yourself at the end of the season, did I do enough? Am I the problem? And you got to be honest with yourself. And if Luke Fortner looked at himself in the mirror and was honest with himself, he would say, I am the problem, and I got to fix it. But the Jaguars don't have time to fix it. You got to correct. The Jaguars don't have enough time to wait another offseason to see if he gets bigger, stronger, and faster.
Yeah.
They don't have that time. They don't have that luxury. Listen, the center is the second most important position on the line outside the left tackle.
Yeah.
It is. And they could, like Matt was saying, they could not double down on Fortner. They absolutely could not, for the sake of 16.
Yes.
You can't double down on Fortner.
Yeah. And we're talking about you are basically the door of Fort Knox. You're protecting the gold, okay? Yeah. You're trying to make sure that whatever's behind you is protected and no one's going to rough it up. And that is the essence of what he needs to do and basically hasn't done. And the other part of this is that when you're taking a look at the overall, you're looking for leadership and experience to take over a lack of experience in Luke Fortner. Luke Fortner was thrust into that situation, and then there really wasn't anybody else to go to because you had a career backup in Tyler Shatley that he was battling with.
Well, Trevor was in a situation where his escape hatch was getting pushed back. Your escape hatch is up the middle when there's pressure around you. Yeah. But if you got pressure coming in front of you, that's how you get sacked. I mean, Fortner was just a liability. I know you can't give up on the kid because he's only his third year, but we don't have the luxury to sit around and wait for you to develop.
All right, so if we all agree on that, we don't have the luxury to sit around and wait, right? Fortner's not the only problem in that middle three. True. He's not the only problem.
Yeah, but the one thing that I would immediately say is that I always mention the triangle, and it's that center that makes left and right of him better. And if that center is sound, Sheriff, when healthy, can be better. Obviously, Ezra coming in was better than okay. He was good enough, and he gets his –
yeah, but at the end of the day, the guards have to make plays. At the end of the day, it's man on man.
Well, let me tell you how this works in the offensive line meeting room, okay? Seniority counts, all right? So the middle three are a liability, right? We all agree upon that. Yeah, right. But I can tell you this right now in the film room and study, and I've been in there, the seniority gets a pass more than the younger guy does. I'm on run blocks, on pass play. The offensive line coach is going to look at Fortner as the problem.
Okay, and that's fine. Okay, but also it's like when you go home and you're laying down late at night and you're staring at the ceiling. The only person you're thinking about there is you. Like, how are you going to be better? So you can't tell me those coaches look at those cut-ups and think, yeah, we're good at guard. There's no way they can do that.
No, I don't think they do that at all. I think
so. If you can't wait with center, you can't wait with guard either.
Well, according to the Jaguars, we can because they re-signed.
That's kind of my point. I think I'm going with Joe now. I think it's smoke signal. I think they're going to. I think they're going to upgrade guards. Okay. I think they're going to upgrade the guards.
Again, a reminder: they're still doing their due diligence in the draft.
Yeah. Oh, heck yes, of course. Yes.
Doing the due diligence.
Yeah, and they still may, if it happens, where they were to look at a let's just call it a Pac-12 prospect, okay, that has, quote, played tackle and could play interiorly. It doesn't mean that Ezra is solid. It doesn't mean that Sheriff is solid, okay, even though he restructured his deal. I would lean on Leon and say veteran's going to win in that conversation. If he restructured, it's his job, at least for here and now.
Right. But again, what I said about later on draft picks, and look, maybe it's not day 3, maybe it's the 3rd round with that 96 overall pick. You get a Christian Mahogany out of Boston College, Matt. You better pull up that tape for Leon to look at too. I know, but for Leon to look at, he may have the same eyes for him as he does for Cooper Beebe.
I doubt it, but let me see.
Because he's a nasty run mauler.
And Boston College has churned out a lot of interior linemen.
Okay, it's not. Okay.
But he has longer arms, so bulky built. Yeah. So it's again, maybe you get him at 96. And he does sit behind Scherf for a year. And if the Cooper Hodges project doesn't work out, then there he is. And if Ezra doesn't work out, well, now you have Christian Mahogany waiting in the wings.
Yeah, and look, they absolutely need to hit on some of these. All right, so now let's get to the T. Higgins conversation coming up here in a second. Mocama Beer Company bringing today's show. Don't forget Mocama.com. You can log on, learn about their story, how long they've been up in the Nassau County area, Fernandina Beach, and now Wildlight with great craft beer you will love. So T. Higgins v. Calvin Ridley. There's already a lot of chatter about Ridley getting a deal, and a number of teams are in the mix. So let's touch on that coming up on XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. Get more Jaguars coverage from Jacksonville's sports superstation.
Safety's got to grab. There's always a hole if you don't pressure the QB.
1010XL.
A new vehicle. Come to Key Buick GMC where we never have markups on our vehicles. In addition, Key Buick GMC is the only Buick GMC dealer with a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new Buicks and GMCs. It's a new year. Time to do some service checkups. Key has oil changes specials on most vehicles plus a tire match guarantee. Please check out our service specials at our website. Go to KeyBuickGMC.com. We're always professional grade on the corner of Southside and Gate. Key Buick. GMC.com.
It's time, basketball bettors. It's March Mania. Hicken here to tell you about BetUS.com. I endorse one sportsbook and casino, BetUS. They've been driving to the basket for 30 years. This year, BetUS has an epic three-pointer. a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Yep, 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started. Visit BetUS.com or give them a call, 1-800-MyBetUS. BetUS, where the game begins.
Get ready for the Players' Championship, March 12th through 17th at TPC Sawgrass. Don't miss your chance to watch the PGA Tour's best compete to etch their name in history while enjoying a vibrant social scene. From local bites to the latest merchandise available in the PGA Tour fan shop, the Players offers the ultimate experience for everyone to enjoy. Secure your spot today. Tickets are on sale now at theplayers.com.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Prosser here, and Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make that happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508. That's loanpronto.com at 904-999-1508. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Chose C for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. They can transform your backyard with fire pits, pergolas, screen enclosures, and outdoor kitchens. And CSS handles the entire project from start to finish. You dream it, they build it. CSSOutdoor.com.
2 hours spent on 2 things. Your Jags and the rest of the NFL with Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony.
Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studios.
Every weekday from 10 to noon on 1010XL.
If you're an experienced, skilled plumber or welder that's MedGas certified and you're tired of working for a company that just doesn't treat you right, Local 234 is the place for you. Their pay is the best in the business. You'll walk away with $35.09 an hour in your pocket. With benefits, that's just over $50 an hour. Local 234 has been around since 1901, and that means something. Visit UA234.com to send your resume. Local 234, make the right connection.
Dave Binion here with my son Ammon, who is the air duct cleaning manager at Zero Res. So Ammon, you may notice a little rattle in my voice and some puffiness in my eyes. That's because allergy season is coming on. Can Zero Res help?
Yes, your health has a lot to do with the air you breathe. A clean and healthy home begins with clean air. At Zero Res, we can help clean the air in your home by cleaning your air ducts, cleaning the coils in your HVAC units, and fogging the system with a powerful antimicrobial that helps kill and control the growth of microorganisms in your air. We also have options for maintaining your clean air with our excellent inline air purifier and UV lights that will help keep your system clean and healthy. At Zero Res, we are more than just air duct cleaners. We're a clean air specialist.
Have Zero Res air duct specialists out, and right now we'll give you $50 off your air duct cleaning, and while we're at it, we'll give you $50 off your dryer vent cleaning. Zero Res.
Spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREC. Zero Res.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
An ACL tear can be a devastating injury with prolonged pain and rehabilitation. Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari. I'm a sports medicine orthopedic surgeon who grew up right here in Jacksonville and then went on to train with the world-renowned Dr. James Andrews. At Bari Orthopedics, we use the most current techniques to get you back on the field with less pain and quicker rehabilitation. We treat all types of sports injuries with the newest techniques available. Please call us for consultation or visit BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
There's Allen faking to the right, going to the end zone. And who else? Gabe Davis with the touchdown catch on the opening drive. Big game, Gabe!
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Big play Gabe is headed back to the Sunshine State. Gabe Davis, born in Fernandina Beach, played at the University of Central Florida before being drafted by Jaguars wide receiver coach Chad Hall, and the Buffalo Bills, is headed to Duval as the Jaguars, according to Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, have reached an agreement for 3 years. The actual the amount of that deal still yet to be announced. From some initial intel that I've been able to do, he was a guy who they had obviously on their board because of the connection to Chad Hall. When Mitch Morse visited this weekend, I'm told, he was absolutely raving about Gabe Davis, and a big reason that he signed here in Jacksonville was because the Jaguars had targeted Gabe Davis.
I tell you one thing that you heard a bunch up there, and it's either Sal Capaccio or anybody else that we would talk to in Bills Mafia land, was that Josh Allen gravitated to Gabe Davis more than maybe Stephon Diggs. Remember all that conversation? And that might have left Diggs frosty. Who the heck knows? But he is a reliable target. He's pretty dang good. This isn't going to send, I don't think, too many people over the moon other than he's coming home and he's from UCF. I like both of those quite a bit. But he is bona fide, okay? He is a good receiver in the National Football League. He's not a number one, though.
Yeah. He's not a number one.
No.
He's also, I mean, to be honest, he's almost dropped as many as he's caught in his career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very close. He's probably caught about 50. Looks like 53% of the targets.
Okay, I'd have to look at this.
But to that point,
yeah.
Here's his average yards per catch in all 4 seasons: 17-1, 15-7, 17-4, and last year 16-6.
You know what
27 touchdowns. So hang on. You know the Jaguars, their best average per catch of their top 3 receivers, 13-8.
Okay, so I feel
it also should be noted real quick, Joe. Gabe Davis is turning 25, I believe, next month.
Oh, wow, he is younger than I thought.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley will be turning 30.
I was thinking he was 26.
Yeah,
okay.
Calvin Ridley will be turning 30 later this year.
And then just pair this up. I bet if we look, and we'd have to go back and look at Atlanta numbers, well, look at the number of drops Calvin Ridley has had. And we're talking he had his share of targets this year.
299 career targets, 163 catches. He's right about 53% catches per targets.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you guys, there you go. Gabe Davis. Now this may just kill our T. Higgins discussion that we were about to have.
No, we could still have it, and I think we also do need a hit of that because speaking of T. Higgins, there's another former Clemson Tiger that folks were clamoring for here in Duval, and we have an update there.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Christian Wilkins, the former Miami Dolphins first-round pick, is officially off the board. He is headed to the Las Vegas Raiders, a 4-year deal worth $110 million. That includes $84.7 million in guaranteed money. It should be noted, by the way, that if Chris Jones didn't get that $95 million guaranteed, Joe, from the Kansas City Chiefs, I heard some news over the weekend that the Texans and Titans were going to be making a push for old Chris Jones, and they were making a push reportedly out of Houston for Christian Wilkins as well. So I understand the Jaguars are going to have to face the Raiders this upcoming season, but a huge development that you keep him out of the AFC South.
He is a good player, and having him, this is what we talked about last week. I'd rather put $20 million, and it was more than that, of course, in his lap than I would Calvin.
Yeah.
And damn it, that's a tough one right there because he is he's the house wrecker that we were talking about. He's the one who knocks on Fort Knox's door and kicks it in, and that he is a dynamic player.
Well, so if let's just say this means they're no longer going to pursue Ridley. Let's just say that's what this means. I can't imagine this deal's worth any more than what, 13 annually for Gabe, right? Maybe.
Yeah. I like the tip top. The Calvin, the T discussion is going to be around that $20 million.
20, right. So he's maybe 12, 13. So my point is, if you thought you had enough to sign Calvin Ridley, you still have some room now in your cap.
Yes. We would look at those numbers.
To maybe get a corner, to maybe get a guard.
Yeah, because and by the way, I know that the Robert Hunts of the world, they're going to cash in big time. I know that. There's certain ones that I've looked at and liked.
But it leaves you a little wiggle room is my point.
Yeah.
With the cap.
And so it's really, honestly, a pipe dream that you're going to get another free agent interior lineman. But it's not impossible. And then, like you said, other positions that will help them navigate the draft because they've got wide receiver, at least for the here and now, somebody added to that room. He may not be as dynamic or as down the field as Calvin was.
No, but if you think about
reliable.
This, so we were talking last week. They were fine in 2022 at receiver. Didn't have Calvin Ridley. So if you're telling me you go from Gabe for Marvin Jones, I think that's an upgrade. I think that's an upgrade.
Okay, all right, I get that part of it. And Gabe just became one of those security blanket type of favorite targets for Josh Allen, and he wasn't the stretch guy. Stephon Diggs definitely was. And heck, you remember.
But he did stretch. I mean, he averaged his career average is 16.7.
Yeah, that's a good
a good number.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think of.
That's top of the league number, 16.7.
Who was the cat quick guy that showed up towards the end of the year for Buffalo? Number 11 or whatever. He popped towards the end. I'll think of his name. But anyway.
You're not thinking about Cole
Buffalo.
Beasley,
No, Buffalo had a lot of weapons. They really did.
Yeah. I mean, I guess my point is, if you look at like the elite average yards per catch in the league, I bet 16.7 is within like the first 12, 13, 14, somewhere around there in the league. That's a big number.
By the way, Nate Tice of The Athletic just tweeted out Christian Kirk's game log the year before he signed in Jacksonville compared to Gabe Davis's, and they are nearly identical.
Yeah.
Not saying that Gabe Davis is going to replace Christian Kirk, but it's once again a situation in which Trent Baalke says, I'm going to bet on this number 2 who's still developing to take the next step. I bring him in at just 25, 26 years old, sign him to a couple years, and see what happens
He's
from
a
there.
big dude. He's 6'2", 210 pounds.
He's your guy who can, in the red zone, go up and get it.
He's Zay, yeah.
Zay.
And that's what
I couldn't help but just start to think about that a little bit. And look, I'm a Zay fan, but Zay did miss a lot because of injury, and it sucked for him. And I think we all agree when he's out there, they're better.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
No, probably not.
Yeah,
in other words, you can't.
He's healthy. He's good. He's a good player.
Yes, you can't just add Gabe Davis and say goodbye to Calvin and let go of Zay.
When Zay Jones is healthy, he's a good player. They're not getting rid of him. No way.
And having 2 6'2" guys is not a bad thing.
By the way, Khalil Shakir is your guy, Joe.
Thank you,
Khalil
Jason.
Shakir.
I was trying to remember him because he definitely was a step-up guy towards the end, which was good to see. And then, Matt, the other thing is the career yards per catch and the season yards per catch for Gabe Davis were basically the same.
Gabe's career is 16.7, and last year he was 16.6. The year before in 2022 he was 17.4.
Yeah, so those are definitely positives. All right, so you guys react to that, 641-1010. Let us know what you think on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Good, bad, indifferent.
Also, real quick.
Yeah.
So he's probably like a 3 for them, right? Or 4 even.
He was.
Let's just say 3, right?
Yeah, I would say at worst a 3.
Okay. His touchdowns in 4 seasons, 7, 6, 7, 7. That plays. That plays.
Yeah, heck yeah. And that's that big play guy down the field that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen does so many dynamic things that he just stretches that defense, and that guys like that break loose.
Get the ball in the end zone, which is what they can't do with those receivers.
They have weakened an AFC opponent by 2. By 2. And that's not a bad thing.
And now
either.
it's on that team, the Buffalo Bills, as I noted in the 12 o'clock hour. They're going to have to hit in the draft. That's what happens when you sign your franchise quarterback to that long-term extension like they did. Now it's on the GM. You banked on, I have the quarterback. It doesn't really matter. The pieces around him, he will elevate those pieces, and we will hit on pieces. But now you got to put your money where your mouth is if you're Brandon Beane and company.
And Beane has been pretty dang good up there. He really has, just as far as finding guys.
So I do want to note, thank you to Jason at Over the Cap for reporting the cap number and official details of Mitch Morse's 2-year contract with the Jags. Again, $10.5 million over 2 years, 7 of it guaranteed. He will only carry a $2.6 million cap charge this year for the Jaguars, which is obviously huge. We know that Brandon Scherf renegotiated his contract over the weekend. That lowered his cap number by at least about $5 million. We know the 3 players that they said goodbye to last week. That left them with around $24 million if you're accounting for Josh Allen's cap number on the tag. which again, the hope is that he's not playing on the tag. That would also create more dollars and cents. The notion of could Cam Robinson be moved? That creates more opportunity because that's a $17 million cap hit. And so it's very much still a fluid situation, but keeping Mitch Morse's cap number extremely low, knowing Ezra Cleveland's number will be lower than, I don't know, Landon Dickerson, who just signed the highest value for a guard in a 4-year extension with the Eagles in NFL history at the guard position, $21 million per year, Joe C.
Yeah.
If you could keep these cap numbers down, then you still could make a run at Calvin Ridley. You could still make a run at that defensive line player as well.
And they moved Sheriff's number down,
Correct.
which helps because, by the way, his number was up there in that
Right,
Landon
exactly.
Dickerson
Right,
land for
exactly.
a while. All right, Chillin, one of our nooners, JJ, has made the request of some X-Files music because he does appreciate on XL Primetime whenever we have this. So he pointed it out. He goes, I'm just saying, Gabe did follow Trevor and Ridley on IG. Cue the music, JJ. So there you go. Appreciate it. Look, it would be something. Now, again, if anything crazy like that were to happen, we'll wait and see what the numbers look like dollars-wise. But you can't stuff too much free agent money in that wide receiver room, at least not right now. You can't. That would mean the end of Zay if that were to happen. But we'll wait and see how that plays out.
If they get Ridley too, you mean?
Yeah.
If they were to get Ridley, then they'd say goodbye to Zay. Although, I mean, you could make the argument he restructured last year. Could you restructure again? You know Jamal Agnew's walking.
Yes.
If you have those four guys, if you've got Kirk, Ridley, Zay, and Gabe Davis, and then you've got the two young guys in Parker Washington and Elijah Cooks, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and that goes back to that Buffalo Bills room where there were a bunch of guys that could make plays for you at any spot on the field.
Sorry to
including
Tim.
tight end.
Sorry to friend of the program, Tim Jones, by the way, that I forgot to mention.
Forgot about
If they've got Kirk, Ridley, Zay Jones, and Gabe Davis, if that's really their four, and Evan Ingram, you kidding me?
Yeah, that's a dream.
So Rossini has the numbers.
Okay.
3 years, 39. Incentives
that's
could go
13.
up to 50.
And it can go, okay. All right. Let's react to it. That's one of the bigger
13, like I
signings.
thought,
All right. Pretty good day, yay or nay? You guys hit the text line. Pretty good day, yay or nay? Mitch Morse and Gabe Davis, at least for the here and now, along with the other things that they've done. It is XL Primetime on a Mokama Beer Company Monday.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. It's the biggest event to hit the First Coast since the Florida-Georgia game.
The Players Championship.
Get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates brought to you by Coastal Equipment, First Coast Honda Dealers, and Kingfish Pest Control.
On 1010XL.
Make a crucial catch against colon cancer. Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, the ball is in the red zone to get screened. The key to surviving colon cancer, early detection and prevention. 45 is the new 50. Get screened for colon cancer now. The Borland Groover Foundation is a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Men suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, frustrated taking pills that don't work. Here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough treatments with men lasting longer than ever without pain or surgery.
Call now. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results right in the office. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Is your roof showing signs of wear and tear? Call Universal Roof and Contracting today to schedule your complimentary roof inspection. Right now, get $200 off your roof replacement plus flexible financing. And as a bonus, receive free window mitigation with a full roof replacement. This offer expires March 31st and restrictions apply. Universal Roof and Contracting, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
If you're like me, it kind of feels like it took spring forever to get here. Well, guess what? It's finally here, and my friends at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned are celebrating big with some Spring Fever March specials. How does this sound? $500 down and only $288 per month gets you a pre-owned 2021 Toyota Corolla. Or you choose a pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for just $500 down and $388 per month. You know, spring is all about new beginnings, and that includes your credit. Get a fresh start with help from Arlington's friendly credit for everyone, pre-approval helper. It's all about getting you approved. Now that's a breath of fresh air. And remember, you can buy pre-owned with total confidence thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange program.
That's 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it. Don't wait. Spring into action and score these March specials now. $500 down, low payments, 30-day exchange, and friendly credit for everyone. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Listen up, poker players. The Run Good Poker Series is coming to Best Bet Jacksonville from March 14th to the 24th. The Run Good Poker Series features 10 poker events, including the $1,200 no-limit hold'em main event with a $300,000 guaranteed prize pool, and event number 1, $400 no-limit hold'em with a $100,000 guarantee. Win your way into the tournament through satellite starting March 2nd and running throughout the month at Best Bet Jacksonville. Check out the Run Good Series structures and details at bestbetjacks.com.
March Madness is almost here. Well, Spring Sports Brewery in historic Springfield is the place to go for all the tournament action. The atmosphere is unrivaled. Our show will be there live from 3 to 6 on Friday, March 22nd. So come watch hoops and shoot hoops with us. That's Friday, March 22nd from 3 to 6. Soak in all the March Madness at Spring Sports Brewery. Family, beer, sports, and March Madness at Strings. Come out and see us in Springfield and have a ball at March Madness.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 11, 1941, Hall of Famer Bronco Nagurski regains the World Wrestling title from Ray Steele after losing a year prior.
If you're getting engaged and want to spend way more than you should on a diamond, go ahead and shop the Big Chain Diamond Store. They love taking your money. But if you want the lowest price guaranteed, shop Beard's Diamonds.
Right now, get 5 years, 0% financing with nothing down.
At Dr. Rooter, we understand plumbing issues can be a real inconvenience for your building or business, and we're here to help. We can handle all kinds of plumbing jobs, including broken pipes, clogged drains, line jetting, installing water heaters, and full repipes. Need a camera inspection or a smoke test? Yes, Duck Rooter does that too. Plus, our lift station services include inspections, monitoring, cleaning, and repairs. When you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I had another aha moment last week when walking through the grocery store. I stood in the aisle and laughed out loud while looking at what I used to buy. And that's an overlooked but critical benefit of Awaken 180 weight loss. It changes the way you look at food. You embrace the good and avoid the bad because both your mind and body are reshaped using the program Mike Dempsey and I have had so much success with. I lost 40 pounds with Awaken 180 weight loss, and it begins and ends with a program that encourages you to eat. That's right, eat 6 times a day. Awaken 180 weight loss also gives you a personal coach who helps you through the process and has answers to every possible question because they've succeeded with the program too. They make sure you stay the course and reach your weight loss goals, and here's the key, keep it off for life. Get your initial consultation on the calendar this month and get ready to change your life with a proven plan that more than 20,000 have successfully used. It's fast, it's easy, and it's free support for life. Reserve online at awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Grilling up lunch with Leon and the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose on 1010XL.
Sausage with a purpose. We love it on XL Primetime. Wrapping it up with Big Searcy. Before he heads out at 2, we will be out at the Players beginning tomorrow. And we're right around 9 Green, Palm Valley Village. Looking forward to being out there. So anyone who comes out tomorrow, military appreciation and the Cole Swindell concert. It's going to be happening first practice day. How about the fact that, JJ, a round of applause, the defending champion of the Players did not win until this past yesterday. He had not won on the PGA Tour.
Somehow.
Yeah, crazy. And just take a look at his record. Take a look at how many top 4s, top 3s. Scotty Scheffler was all over it as far as around the winner's circle, but just did not grace the winner's circle since his win last year here in Ponte Vedra Beach. But then he goes out and wins Arnie's tournament yesterday, and boy, was he rolling the rock, that's for sure. All right, so let's throw – basically, JJ, what did we decide to do? We scrapped the last X poll because that's out the window. Calvin Ridley v. T. Higgins. What would you rather?
Although people did want T. Higgins more than Calvin Ridley. That's something that needs to be said.
Interesting.
But the new one, how do you feel? Simple. How do you feel about the new Gabe Davis deal for the Jags? 3 years, $39 million. Question of the day, as always, brought to you by Beaver Toyota of St. Augustine. Thumbs up or thumbs down? 90% love it, Joe.
Okay.
Thumbs up for the deal.
All right.
Very conservative numbers.
Yeah, and we're talking $11 million guaranteed up front.
So that puts you at 28.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they still have some wiggle room, though, do they not?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's probably not even going to be his full cap hit. If you do 28 divided by 3,
Right.
it's still not going to be.
So Josh Uche's still out there.
Mm-hmm.
The possibility of getting him and getting another guy off the edge.
Yeah. Because if you divide that number up, you definitely still get some savings back on that cap line.
And it may not be him either. I mean, I think that, again, I'm going to go back to the point that I made that don't be surprised if you see a bunch of late signings, let's say tomorrow, because the tampering window is about, 52 hours from 12 p.m. Monday to 4 o'clock Wednesday.
Right.
A lot of old friends of Ryan Nielsen, where maybe the Jags took a swing at Christian Wilkins and it didn't work out. So now they say, okay, let's go get Contavious Street. Let's go get Jones out of Chicago, who was pretty productive at 4.5 sacks last year from the interior, was coached by Ryan Nielsen at NC State. Let's go look for some of those guys who we can get for
Where's
one.
Grady?
For one, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's in the draft. Maybe he's Byron Murphy.
Right.
Let's go out and get some of these cheap, veteran guys on 1-year prove-it deals to fill those holes on defense, and then we'll take the swing in the draft.
Yeah, and they better, Leon, if you just start to add up the combination of experience with the energy from that rookie that comes in, you gotta you know where the important places are for veterans and that interior part of that offensive line, because honestly they really didn't have that center position until now.
Well, you're like a nice little mixture of young and old in the locker room. I mean, the young guys bring you energy, and the older guys bring you structure, all right, and discipline more than likely if they're mentoring the guys properly. So yeah, absolutely. I think that we've made this. I know Matt doesn't agree. We still got some issues in the interior of the offensive line that we need to address, but I don't have a problem with right now what Mia was just talking about, getting you some wily old vets, interiorly defensive front-wise, that can stop the run and get after the passer a little bit. Because of Nielsen's his defense, his schemes of defense, like you said, nobody had over 7 sacks. So although you have the bookends as far as Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen go, interiorly and inside, maybe you create chaos in some other capacity with the interior defensive lineman and with the linebacker blitzing and stuff like that. So I wouldn't have a problem if we signed a couple of, interior guys on 1-2 year deals, steady guys, steady veterans that, got a little oomph left in them.
And I'm rooting for Devon Hamilton to be healthy. I really am. To put some weight back on, be a force inside. Who knows who he gets paired up with. But he could be the nose. You got to have a 3, and then you just kind of find a little magic in there, because the quarterback, even though Trayvon and Josh got to the quarterback, he never was really knocked off of his spot. Not nearly enough, because just take a look at, heck, even C.J. Stroud, when he did get knocked off his spot, it took him forever to get to him, and then he was still delivering down the field. So they have got to make that guy uncomfortable.
There are 260 of you currently watching on YouTube. A round of applause, JJ, because we appreciate all of you, whether you're listening on terrestrial radio or here online via X, Facebook, or YouTube. And the conversation there is continuing on the YouTube chat line regarding, could you still make a deal for T. Higgins? Are you saying the Jaguars wide receiver room is complete? Do you still go out after Calvin Ridley?
Well, all right.
Is Zay Jones potentially on the chopping block with this addition of Davis if you still can go out and get Calvin Ridley?
Yeah. Remind me of Zay's number. It's in that $12 million range. And so, yes, potentially you could erase one number and add the other number in, and you still have the money to go after Calvin. But then that goes back to
it's 10.7.
Okay, 10.7. So I was thinking it was a little bit more than that. But so you're moving some numbers around that will definitely be a little bit less if you were to go in that direction. But now I'm almost thinking that you have Kirk, if you have a healthy Zay, you have Gabe, who definitely is now morphing into a pretty good wide receiver, getting his second contract as a player. Now you do go to that deep wide receiver class, Matt. Now you deep, not not necessarily use a first-round pick, but make sure that one of your first 3 picks is a talented wide receiver that you can add to that room.
You still think they're going to add wide receiver early in the draft?
I said first 3 now. Okay, I went Thursday and Friday. In other words, I'm not jumping right now and saying you still have to go get that guy high. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying one of your first 3 picks, I believe, still needs to be a young, developable wide receiver.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
No?
I think you've got bigger issues. I think you got bigger issues on both lines of scrimmage, and I think you got a bigger issue at corner. I think that should be if you've added Gabe Davis, and now you're looking at a healthy Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, a healthy Zay Jones.
Yeah. But look, I'm not trying to be the nitpicker here because I'm usually off-season optimist, but that's 2 of 3 guys that were injured.
No, I agree with that.
And heck, let Elijah Cooks get involved, and then
that's the point I made
might
to
be
it.
happier.
I made that point to a nooner on the text line when they said that Gabe Davis and Zay Jones would be your tallest wide receivers at 6'2". You still got Elijah Cooks in the incubator, baby, at 6'5". Maybe he takes the next step. You find a gem. Dare I say, Balky found a gem in undrafted free agency. They'll credit Tony Khan anyways. But, that coupled with how tall is T. Higgins? Is he really a red zone threat? I mean,
he's that same 6'2",
right. He's that same guy. I mean, he's undefeated against the slot fade, but that's a couple different guys, and that's also a couple different guys we spoke with at the NFL Combine last week that you could get in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round.
Yeah, Higgins went across the middle, so you definitely had to appreciate that about him. But I just feel like we're talking about renewing certain rooms, and what Leon said, you got to have that mix, which I totally agree with. But you're now looking at a very expensive Christian Kirk, $24 million. The 10 and some change for Zay, a similar amount of money for Gabe. It gets expensive, and you need to make sure that you have to have somebody else that you can walk into that room. And I'm talking about a late Friday night pick. I'm not talking about a Thursday night pick. I'm talking about somebody that they feel like they can find in the 3rd round that can do something for them, and we'll find out. Heck, Balky last year spent Thursday and Friday night on the offensive side of the football and didn't go to the defensive side. So I'm not against that either. I'm not against Thursday and Friday, 2 out of 3 picks being on the defensive side of the football either. And that would mean, what would that mean? If you did 2 defensive guys, then that would mean, Matt, you absolutely needed to use your 1 offensive on an interior lineman or a lineman.
If they're going the way you guys think it's going and they're not looking at the interior line of scrimmage on the offensive side of the ball,
yeah,
it's what I've been saying now for I don't know how long. They're going defense heavy in this draft.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah, but it would still include 1 lineman offensively in the first 3 rounds. You would have to guess.
You would hope.
Yeah, you would hope.
What I am seeing off the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, number 1, T. Higgins is 6'4". I apologize, T. I'm 5'3". I mean 5'2". So
always want to be 2 inches more
exactly.
as well. So
sorry.
I cheated him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. But what I'm also seeing is that several nooners out there floating the idea of that second round pick that's 48th overall, Leon, flipping that for T. Higgins. I think you're going to need more than that to play ball with the Cincinnati Bengals, let alone get that deal done. I don't think the idea of attaching Zay Jones to that suddenly makes it a more valuable opportunity for the Jags. I think you would need, at the very least, 2 day 2 picks to make that deal happen, considering that T. Higgins was drafted initially at the top of the 2nd round. And for all intents and purposes, the Bengals view him as a first rounder.
Mm-hmm. He's worth it if you do that, but you got to be careful with the draft capital you give up. You really do.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to also, if you do make the trade, long-term deal, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd be able to spread out that cash, whatever you do come up with him. Because
I mean, what kind of money is he going to go on there? Are we talking what numbers? We're talking 25.
He wants to be in that $20 million range.
$20 million range.
Well, and Jamar's still going to cash. Okay, so he'd be moving past Jamar with this deal if he were to get dealt. And the other thing that we always got to remind ourselves of is that you're not only giving up draft capital to get to a guy, you're now having to pay him, as opposed to resetting your clock with a rookie. You don't know whether that guy's going to turn into a star or not, but he's certainly more affordable, cheaper. But you're giving up draft capital and paying the man. And it does get pricey, that's for sure.
2 other offensive line moves. We already were hinting at it, but it appears that it is official. Lloyd Cushenberry leaving Denver to become the center for the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, Dan Quinn is bringing I'm going to butcher it every time I try to say the Wisconsin man's name, Matt Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Biadasz. Yes? Biadasz?
Biadasz, I think.
Biadasz?
Yeah.
The CZ, the CSZ.
This is a good slang term there.
It throws me for a loop. Anyways, he's
Say
headed
Tyler
from Dallas to Washington following Dan Quinn. And so 2 centers on the move besides Mitch Morse, who of course opted to sign with your Jacksonville Jaguars this morning instead of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll tell you what, it's active. That's what we want, and we're going to head into the 2 o'clock hour, keeping our eye on it, that's for sure. New X poll is out. You can react to the Gabe Davis signing. All right, Leon, by the time we gather tomorrow, before you head out, how much more will be done? Do you think this is a good first day? Again, this is just the legal tampering period, but do you think we're going to see any more big swings from Trent Baalke and company?
Well, I mean, the Mitch Morris, we thought Matt and I said this team couldn't double down on the offensive line. They had to make some moves and maneuvers. So I like the Mitch Morris deal. The Gabe Davis deal, helps the wide receiver room. I think we probably got a couple of more moves to make. We've got to do something, even as far as the interior of the defensive line. I mean, we brought back Ledbetter, and you still have Roy Robinson Harris, but you need another rotational guy interiorly, someone who can stop the run and get after the pass.
Heck, just follow Trevor Lawrence's Twitter page. Mm-hmm. Whoever he follows, that's who they're signing.
Yeah, and the one thing's for sure is that when we were laughing earlier, when Chiller reminded us that Gabe Davis was following Trevor and Calvin, is that these guys do talk in that social circle, and they start to map out what they like, and don't think for a moment they're not talking to their agent.
Yeah, and you can make the argument, well, he's a friend of my friend. I met him at the Pro Bowl, but yeah, that one was a little too obvious for me. Mm-hmm. Leon, before we send you off, I know we only briefly mentioned my shirt and the women's basketball conference championship games this weekend. Did you see, because I want your reaction before I get Matt Hayes', did you see the brawl between South Carolina and LSU?
I did. I watched that game.
Yeah.
That was a great game.
It was a great game.
It was an absolute great game.
And I appreciate Dawn Staley saying as much, being like, you know what, I hate for the basketball community that this is how it had to end 5-on-5 because there were no other players left because everybody on the bench got ejected and had to go to the locker room. Mm-hmm. It's a sin because it was a great game, but what'd you think of Cardoso's uppercut?
It makes it more exciting. I don't care. The brawl made it more exciting. I mean, I already watch it. I like this is one thing that disturbs me about the NBA because they're friends. They're friends. They hug and they're tight with each other and stuff like that. I love a little malice, in the women's game.
Whatever you say,
did you see the guy jump out of the stand?
That actually was Flau'jae Johnson's brother.
I was going to say it had to be a relation.
He remains in jail and has been charged with assault, battery, and disorderly conduct.
And you know why else? Because if it wasn't him, it could have been somebody else. They could have had a shiv. That's why.
Damn, there you are with the shiv.
That was the real reason I needed to get this in before Leon leaves.
That can happen, man.
You watch too much Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, but listen, whenever you say bench clearing, you don't think of women, but occasional cat fights. Listen, they get very territorial.
And then did you hear the comment from my least favorite human being, Kim Mulkey?
Yeah.
She was like, it wasn't great. We don't want that in the game. But if I could say one thing, I wish she hit Angel instead because it's not fair she went after a little girl. At least go after a girl who's your height.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
what college coach says that and gets away with it and doesn't have to issue an apology?
That's a little strange. I agree with that. And listen, Staley's girls are undefeated, so they are ready to rock and roll.
When you're a tree, you don't pick on a flower. Pick on another tree. You know what I'm saying?
On that note, you get to say goodbye. That was a deep one right there, people. Just think about that one. That is Big Searcy is out. We headed into the 2 o'clock hour. The quarterback whisperer by phone, okay, because he's down in Naples. Who is he hanging out with in Naples? You'll find out. It's XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. It sure is great living in the golf capital of the world.
Blue skies, fresh cut grass, birds chirping.
1010XL, Jacksonville's golf station.
Jeez, you love this golf stuff, huh?
Oh, yeah. eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Mia here, and if you're still in the hunt for a sports book to call home, at the nonstop action of the madness with MyBookie. MyBookie is a one-stop shop for all your sports betting and casino needs, complete with a real-life Vegas experience right from the comfort of your phone. Take your viewing experience to the next level with real-time live betting that lets you stream and bet the games right from the MyBookie website. Sign up now and take advantage of a generous welcome bonus on your first deposit, all the way up to $1,000. Put in $200, get $300 ready to play instantly using promo code 1010XL. And the fun doesn't stop there. You'll get up-to-the-minute odds, props, and this week's expert predictions to help you decide who to put your money on. Put in $200, get $300 ready to play instantly using promo code 1010XL. The best part about MyBookie, you can bet on anything, anytime, from anywhere. Use promo code 1010XL to secure your welcome bonus today, only with MyBookie.
For any urological concerns, let Ackerman Urology be your trusted partner in men's health. With offices from Amelia Island to World Golf Village, they treat bladder conditions, elevated PSAs, and ED. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Attention golf enthusiasts, get ready to swing into action at the Rolling Red Pro Golf Tour at Deer Creek Country Club April 10th to the 12th. It's a charity pro-am event benefiting the Wounded Warrior Project. Rub shoulders with real touring pros, explore the outdoor expo, and indulge in a banquet meal. Want to play alongside a future PGA Tour player? Sign up now at RollingRedGolfTour.com. Spectators welcome and sponsor packages available. That's RollingRedGolfTour.com.
Whitney Cummings presents the Big Baby Tour 2024.
The crazy thing is that when you're 35 as a woman, they start calling your pregnancy geriatric. I'm sorry that the appropriate age for women to get pregnant in the medical community is at prom in a toilet. I am so glad that I waited to get pregnant. If I had got pregnant even a year earlier, I would have sold the baby for Taylor Swift tickets.
Whitney Cummings, live on stage at the Florida Theater Saturday, November 16th. Get tickets now at floridatheater.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Are you tired of living with constant pain from torn ligaments or nagging tendinitis and bothersome joint pain? Say goodbye to endless medications and invasive surgeries. Go BioTarget Regenerative Treatment is available only at injury care centers. Their innovative approach helps you recover faster and get back to doing what you love without drugs or surgery. Don't just treat the symptoms, target the root cause with BioTarget. Visit GoBioTarget.com to learn more and schedule your appointment today.
Pross, I'm thinking about changing my name.
Again? You're already the media mogul, the straw that stirs the drink, the Duke of Pablo Bay. Now what?
Refer to me as Dreamfinders Danny Hicken.
What in the blazes? Is this a cash grab?
No, it's just that I believe so much in Dreamfinders Homes. 20 locations in Northeast Florida, official home builder of Jags and Gators. Great opportunity for first-time homeowners.
All right, Dreamfinders Danny it is.
Did I mention the lowest interest rates you can find? Visit DreamfindersHomes.com. Now let Dreamfinders Danny celebrate through the majesty of song. Dreamfinders, I believe they will build your home just right.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Ahead, we build platforms for digital business. We help create your platform for digital business by weaving together advances in cloud infrastructure, intelligent operations, and modern applications. Digital business is comprised of 5 pillars. We call them imperatives because they're a must-have, not a nice-to-have. We enterprise cloud, integrated security, scaled DevOps, intelligent operations, and relentless automation. Need help with digital transformation? Ahead. Learn, grow, achieve.
When you think about a metal roof, think Prime Roofing. Prime Roofing is Jacksonville's local contractor that manufactures, fabricates, and installs metal roofs. Schedule today at PrimeRoofingFL.com. That's PrimeRoofingFL.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. It was reported on Sunday morning by ESPN's Adam Schefter that the Jaguars will trade a 2024 sixth-round draft pick to the Patriots for quarterback Mac Jones. Mike Dempsey from Jaguars Today with his reaction this morning.
Mac Jones on the last year of his rookie deal. You're not picking up his fifth-year option. As a first-round pick, it'd be way too cost-prohibitive to have him under contract for next season at that mark. So he's a one-year rental, maybe that you get in your system and you consider signing as your long-term backup. Beyond that, but that's all he is.
Mike Dempsey this morning on Jaguars Today. It's right now 63 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security.
Register Sausage.
And George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3. Our dude, Denny Thompson, the quarterback whisperer, down in SoFlo, but it's actually on the Gulf Coast, so it's not just straight down 95. He's got to cross the beautiful Sunshine State to hang out with one Gardner Minshew in Naples, FLA. Denny joins us by phone. Denny, how are you, bud?
Oh, man, I'm great. How are you guys?
We're doing great. We're doing great. First off, just tell everybody what you're doing down there. How's G? And are you wearing a bandana and trying to work in the Mississippi mustache? What are you doing?
Cut off shorts.
Yeah, exactly.
No. I'm not doing any of that. But he's great, man. He's really good, and he looks great. And we're just kind of getting the off-season program kicked off here. Before he finds out where his next stop, if there is a next stop, where he finds out where that's going to be. So it's always fun. I mean, he and I have gotten close. We've been working together a long time, so it's always fun to get to this time of year and just be able to catch up with him and the family. You know the family, Joe. I mean, they're just amazing people. So they're all down here right now, so it's just a nice little reunion.
Tell Flint that we said hello. We love him. We miss him. All right, so real quick on that front, like where is he going to be type of question with Flint, or excuse me, with Gardner. What about the Baker deal? What about the Russ deal? What's going through quarterbacks' minds with those two transactions?
I don't know. We really haven't talked about it. I mean, I think anybody that's been in sports knows that these kind of days you just leave it alone, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot going on. Somebody keep their eyes on the phone, that type of stuff. But you don't really talk about much until there's something to talk about. It's the old jinx thing, I think. But yeah, I don't know. We haven't really talked much about it. From my perspective, what a wild couple of days in the quarterback world. I mean, I don't understand a lot of what's going on. I don't really know what teams are thinking they're accomplishing with certain moves. But yeah, I think it's also just one of those things where we're in this weird place where we have an abundance of quarterbacks, but we also don't have enough quarterbacks. It's like we don't have enough teams don't feel like they have their top tier guys, but then there's more quarterbacks than ever that kind of fit that 15 to 60 range, if that makes sense. There's more quarterbacks than ever that you feel good if your team has to play with them. You don't feel like you have Mahomes or Allen or any of the next generation of guys, but you feel like you're in a decent spot. You can win some football games. And I just think there's a plethora of those guys, and you're just kind of starting to see teams, realize that that's kind of where the world is right now. You draft a difference maker, and then you just try to find ways to hopefully hit on that guy if you didn't draft him.
All right, so first I want to get your thoughts on Mac Jones, the player, okay? Secondly, I think this is as much or more about they don't have faith in C.J. Beathard as it is you're bringing Mac Jones home. Would you agree with that?
I think that would have to be the answer. I don't know how much I agree. I actually really like C.J. I think C.J. is great for the quarterback room. Spins the tar out of the ball. I know C.J. We don't work with him, but I know him pretty well. And so I really am a fan of C.J. But that's the only answer. Isn't it? Like that can be the only answer is that they saw CJ, and there was something about CJ that they didn't feel like they could go forward with, and so they explored the opportunity of Mac. And I don't know if this is a good thing, bad thing. It's kind of a weird thing, I think. I think Mac as a player got into a really crappy situation in New England. And I don't even think that that's debatable. So I don't know that we really know who Mac as an NFL player is yet. But, in this league right now, we're talking about Gardner going, one throw from the playoffs, right? Backups are a big deal. And so if you don't feel like you're solid in there and you feel like you can solidify that with a 6th-round pick, then I get it. It's just when you stack on there that 6th-round pick is a former 1st-round pick and the last year of his rookie deal, it does kind of muddy your thought process a little bit. But I think you're right, Matt. The only conclusion that you can draw from this is that the Jags felt like they needed to upgrade the backup position.
Denny Thompson joining us from South FLA, or I guess the Southwest FLA, training in Naples via the All-Pro Roofing Hotline. Denny, let's shift it to big picture now. We already alluded to Russell Wilson, the only domino to really fall thus far in the quarterback market as free agency and the legal tampering window began about 2 hours ago. My question for you is all the Kirk Cousins news that we heard yesterday, all the rumblings of he's got to be the first domino, and the Vikings and him tried to come to an agreement. Now he's going to meet with Atlanta. What do you make of all this Kirk Cousins hoopla, and is he really the first domino that has to fall?
Well, no, I think he's obviously not the first domino. I think others will fall before he does. But what I really kind of make out of this thing is when you start to talk numbers, contract language, length of contracts, when you start to talk all that kind of stuff, sometimes the brakes get hit a little bit. And there's a lot of details in these contracts. So just because somebody hasn't signed yet doesn't mean they're not going to. But I think there's probably as many deals that fall apart that we never hear about as deals that go through. It's a complicated process. And so, the legal tampering I think is great, but all legal tampering did is it was designed for like all of us to not jump the gun and everything be kind of done by the official first day of free agency of the league year. But what it's turned into is the first day of free agency, right? Like it's not even tampering. It's just, we're going, right? And so now it's what, 2 o'clock, 2:10. And you're like, hey, what's going on with Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins is going to be fine. Kirk Cousins is going to be playing somewhere. Kirk Cousins is going to be the starter somewhere. I would assume that nothing's really changed. If the heat was still on in Atlanta, that it's probably still on in Atlanta, and the agents are just doing the jobs that they're paid to do at this point.
We're talking with our man, Denny Thompson, the quarterback whisperer, as we will keep talking quarterbacks, the man behind 6 points. But we're going to go from the whisperer to something very loud.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, the Jags have made another signing. They've signed former Packers safety Darnell Savage to a 3-year deal, according to Ian Rappaport.
Savage. Now we get to keep our nickname going with Savage whenever we say it. And I do want to ring up that other one that Tony Romo had with Gabe Davis. I'm going to save that one on the wall, too. What is it, Matt, 3 years?
3-year deal.
3-year deal for how much?
I don't know, but if you're signing a guy to a 3-year deal, I'm not so sure that Antonio Johnson is the guy you're going to plug in there. Right or no?
Or it's a bridge.
Well, if it's a 3-year
deal, that's
more than a
commitment, man.
All right, Denny, these are happening fast and furious, that's for sure. Let's throw one more back at you, and then we'll get to a break and bring you back for one more seg. But just back to Mac real quick, and it is crazy to think of a super successful final year in college, a natty, almost won a Heisman, then as a rookie, wins 10 games, makes it to the postseason. Everything looks promising, and then just 180 degrees in the opposite direction, bad coaching, bad team, bad a lot, and there was all sorts of stuff up there about Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft not agreeing on Mac. So how does he repair the scar tissue from all that when he comes down here and gets to work with Doug Peterson?
I think it's like anything else. I think it's just like, all of us. It's time, right? I mean, you got to kind of re-earn trust a little bit, even in the things that maybe wasn't even your fault. But I think, getting somewhere like here who has, an established guy, and then coming off of a year where as a quarterback, you realize that, this next snap anything is real. Like, you could be, you're one snap away, and that is coaches speak, but it's true. It's very true. And we just saw a year where I think somebody said, maybe it was Hayes even told me that backup quarterbacks took more snaps than starting quarterbacks last year in the NFL.
Denny.
Right. So, I mean, I think when you get into a situation, if you're Mac, it's a change of scenery is probably a good thing. Mac didn't just get bad. Mac throws a beautiful ball. Mac has got plenty to play in the NFL. He's got plenty of an engine to play in the NFL. So I think for him, just getting here, settling into a system, establishing a relationship with Trevor and the coaching staff, learning how they're doing things, that in itself and getting some normalcy will start to restore, I think, some confidence in yourself. And Mac has always been, I've known Mac since he was a sixth grader. Mac has never lacked for confidence. So I just think getting back into a familiar place, I think coming back home is probably good for him in the long run. But I don't believe this is Mac's last stop either. I think this is just a little speed bump, and Mac will continue to have whatever career that is ahead for Mac.
All right, one more segment with our quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson, at Denny_Thompson. Of course, check out 6 Points. We will keep it going with him right here on XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Play 1010XL Fantasy Golf at the Players.
What a week!
Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors. If your golfers score the lowest at TPC Sawgrass, win $1,000 of jewelry from Beard's Diamonds. Enter at 1010XL.com.
Hey there, it's Mia O'Brien. It's Players Week here in Jacksonville. Do you really want to be spending your precious free time washing dirty windows and unclogging gutters? Heck no. Get outside and enjoy the outdoors. Call my friends at Window Gang, America's #1 cleaning company, and go do something fun this week out in PVB. With over 35 years of experience, Window Gang knows clean like no other. These are professionals who truly know what they're doing, bringing their expertise to your home or business. What sets Window Gang apart, you ask? It's not just about the cleaning. It's the courteous and friendly service. Not to mention they offer a full range of services. Window and blind cleaning to gutters, pressure washing, roof and house washing, and even dryer vent cleaning. Check out their stellar Google reviews online and call their super friendly staff at 262-7300 to schedule your free estimate. Yes, I said free. That's 262-7300, and they'll be out there ASAP. Window Gang, where service goes beyond your expectations.
Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by Darley's Plumbing.
Florida Gator basketball fell to Vandy over the weekend, 79-78. Florida struggling rebounding and with ball security on Saturday, leading to that loss. The SEC tournament starts this week. Gators are the 6th seed and will face the winner of Georgia v. Missouri and will play the 3 seed Alabama if the team should advance.
Hi, folks. It's Frank Frangie. I'm so thankful to Darley's Plumbing and all the extensive plumbing work they did at the Bragan Baseball Complex, our new walk-off charities field. The Darley's team was responsive and professional at every step on this project, and the result is a facility I love. Darley's is a company I trusted for my plumbing needs, and you can too.
Thanks for those kind words, Frank. At Darley's Plumbing, we don't just do residential house calls. We're your first draft pick for commercial business plumbing too. Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts.
Get ready for the Players' Championship, March 12th through 17th at TPC Sawgrass. Don't miss your chance to watch the PGA Tour's best compete to etch their name in history while enjoying a vibrant social scene. From local bites to the latest merchandise available in the PGA Tour fan shop, the Players offers the ultimate experience for everyone to enjoy. Secure your spot today. Tickets are on sale now at theplayers.com.
Men, are you suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? The medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. 98% of men see instant results on their first office visit. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Men are even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
But that's not all. For a limited time only, call Prime Men's Medical Center now, and your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
It's all about the tales of the tide and the thrill of the hunt.
Wilderness and waterways. There's nothing like the great outdoors.
On the Nimnit Outdoors Show, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services.
Every Saturday morning, 7 to 10.
On 1010XL.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Exciting news from Leonard Truck Accessories in Jacksonville on Blanding Boulevard. Stocking brands like Real Truck, UWS, WeatherGuard, carry-on trailers, and more. The best deals with the best prices only at Leonard Truck Accessories on Blanding Boulevard. Leonard, your truck, your style.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It is on today, that's for sure. Legal tampering going on. And from Peter Schrager at P. Schrags, NFL Good Morning Football, Gabe Davis signing in Jacks does not mean free agent Calvin Ridley is necessarily gone. They're still very much in on those conversations per source. Thank you, Schrags. I like hearing that. And how about another one, JJ?
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We're going to go back to that in a second because I just tweeted out something I was just told on the phone regarding Calvin Ridley, so we will do that. But first, the Jaguars are getting involved in the kicker market, folks. They are reportedly, according to Ian Rappaport, signing former Broncos and Saints kicker Will Lutz to a 3-year deal. Now, akin to the Darnell Savage deal that Matt, Joe, and I looked at each other and said 3 years. Don't forget, most of these contracts are really, like the 4-year one, even for Christian Kirk once upon a time, was really a 2-year deal. You can get out from under it after 2 years. I'm wondering if these 3-year deals Trent Baalke is structuring so that you could get out after 1.
Yeah.
So I am curious, but for the second straight year, the Jaguars go to the well of the Sean Payton cast-offs in Denver after Brandon McManus last offseason and now to Will Lutz.
It was 30 of 34 in field goals last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like you're getting a scrub. He's from 50s. He was 3 of 5.
But it's that mile-high air, too, that
True.
Always helps him. All right, let's go back to the quarterback whisperer as you make the point that you wanted to make about Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, so the point that I just got off the phone and spoke with someone about is that Calvin Ridley could, in fact, be, because of his interest in Jacksonville, because of the question marks surrounding his first year back in the National Football League after missing so much time, could he opt for a shorter, more heavy money up front deal with the Jaguars?
That's a good play.
Or sign a 1-year prove-it deal, but it's pretty lucrative as a 1-year prove-it deal. Let's say, what's the going rate right now? We're talking about
it would be in that 21.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's say he gets, let's say it's a $13 million cap hit or a $10 million cap hit, but he gets 11 up front or something like that on a 1-year deal.
It's like being tagged.
That's a pretty nice little chunk of money.
Yeah.
So there is interest there, but obviously we know about the New England Patriots. I was just told the Houston Texans also have interest in Calvin Ridley, especially falling out of the Christian Watkins sweepstakes and knowing how much money they have. And so that'll be curious to see, which brings me to my question for Denny. As we look at this Jaguars wide receiver room with the addition of Gabe Davis, do you look at that addition, Denny, and say Zay Jones could potentially be on the chopping block, or this is the replacement for Calvin Ridley, stylistically speaking?
That's a great question. I really, when I first heard of it, I didn't think either. I think the NFL has gone to a point where you have to have a plethora of receivers, and we've watched now the Rams do it in the past. We've watched a couple other teams do it in the past where this salary cap thing is it even really real if you play this thing the right way. And if you feel like you've got a guy that you can throw the ball 45 times a game, and how many times did we talk about this year, why aren't they running the ball? Why aren't they running the ball? Well, they don't want to run the ball. They want to throw the ball as much as they possibly can. And so if you're going to do that and you have 4 receivers and you figure that if you're going to throw it that much, one of those is almost always going to be out, then you've got 3 receivers. And if you go back and you look at the old Brady days in New England when they would use the pass game as a substitute for the run game, they would have the same receiver over and over and over again in just different positions so that they were interchangeable. And it feels to me like that's what the Jags would like to accomplish, is we've got a home run back with ETN. We're not going to put a ton of money into our offensive line. We're going to just upgrade this receiver position, give it a little bit more depth so that we feel like we can stay in the rhythm of the offense. Kind of the more than one way to skin a cat, right? Like it's the same thing. It's their belief in how this football team can win football games is on the back of 16. And they're going to give him all the different weapons that he needs to do that. And I think if they were to bring back the entire receiver room, that would be a huge win for the Jags.
So it's not only that, Danny. You're bringing back the entire receiving room. You're adding Gabe Davis, and you still have Evan Ingram too. So you've got
That's my
5.
point.
You've got 5 legit. If you brought up the Patriots, when the Patriots really had it going, Denny, it was almost like the run and shoot. Remember the old run and shoot? They were going
That's
4
exactly
and 5
what it was.
wide, and they couldn't be stopped. So my point is, I'm fine with that. But don't you have to protect him at that point? Don't your first couple picks then have to be offensive line?
Well, you would think so, but the counter argument to that, Matt, is if I can control your personnel, then I can play to my strength. So if all of a sudden I'm out there and I've got, kind of what San Francisco's got going on right now, they got a very similar situation going on right now where they can roll out, 10 personnel, that's really 11 personnel, meaning they can have, ETN and Evan Ingram, but you can't play that like 11 personnel because if you bring in that extra run support, then Evan Ingram is going to burn you, right? Or if you play it in a dime package, then they can bring Evan Ingram down, and now you're in a mismatch against the run game, and that is a way that at times you not hide, but you can certainly help your offensive line by knowing the other team's personnel and how they kind of are forced to play you. Now, what that does is that puts everything on your quarterback. Like he is everything to your franchise. But that is exactly what Trevor. That's what you're supposed to be as a number 1 overall generational pick.
Right.
And I like the fact that you see the guys now. You see Peterson, you see Balky, and all these guys just saying, "Hey, let's find out if 16 is that dude. Then let's get him the weapons and let's see how he distributes the ball. And can we make this work? Can we make this the Rams with Kurt Warner? Can we make this the Brady-led Patriots of old? Like that seems to me the way that they want to go about this.
And you get to hit every strength defensively and stress them to the max wherever you would like to go. That's what makes that Waffle House scattered, smothered, and covered Doug Peterson call sheet so good when you have that many guys. So here's the other question, Denny. Mitch Morse inside the center position improved. Ezra Cleveland signed. Brandon Sheriff restructured. Is that good enough for him to be able to get the ball to all those weapons?
Well, I mean, if you believe that their main issue was the center, and there's some film that certainly would show that it wasn't a strength for the Jags.
Mm-hmm.
So if you believe that continuity in the center were the issues for the problems last year, then yeah, I mean, I think when you add all these pieces and again you spread everything out, and now you feel like you solidified that middle, then now you're in the same boat that every other NFL team is going to be in September, which is you're going to sit back and you're going to pray for no injuries. And there's going to be 5 or 6 teams every single year that are eliminated by injuries, and there's 5 or 6 teams that are there because they stayed healthy. And that, in large part, is what the NFL is. There's only so many elite guys that you just need them to stay healthy, and it has become a survival of the fittest, which is why, this 18th game is even wild to even fathom. But that's what the NFL has become.
What perfect timing to have the quarterback whisperer
One
on.
more.
I asked him in the last segment about Kirk Cousins, and now it is time for another That, Denny.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Per his agent, Mike McCartney, Kirk Cousins has agreed to a 4-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons.
Another back.
Reaction first from the quarterback whisperer via the All-Pro Roofing Hotline.
Yeah, I kind of knew that, the way I answered that. I kind of knew that was coming, and I knew they were just kind of into contract details. I kind of heard that. But, I think if you're Atlanta and you've got what they've got there offensively, we've talked about this on this show, they're not looking for more talent. They have a lot of young talent. And Kirk Cousins is what you need, because Kirk Cousins is he's going to identify everybody's strengths, and he's going to make sure that he leans into those strengths. And another way to say that is he's going to be your coach on the field. He's going to help this young, talented core group of guys that you have on offense develop and learn the game, the NFL game. So I think it's exactly the right move for Atlanta. I don't know what Kirk Cousins has left. I don't watch a ton of Kirk Cousins because he's not one of our guys. But I know he's a dog, and I know he knows ball, and I know he loves ball, and he studies every single aspect of ball. So if you can put that into your locker room with a young nucleus of talent like they have on offense, I think you have to do that.
He loves the tight end too, man. With Hawkinson,
loves it.
Yeah, that's great news for Kyle Pitts.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Although, as I just saw several notable national writers tweet out, do not get excited, because that's probably what everyone's first thought was.
Well,
Kyle Pitts is about to be saved at long last.
But
He does, man.
Yeah, but you can't help but say Pitts, London, and Bijan, Denny. All 3 of those guys, at a minimum, should be stoked.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you look at those 3 guys, and I mean, there's very few teams in the NFL that have a young core like that.
Yeah.
It would be a shame if you have a young core like that with nobody to teach them the game and distribute the ball to them or put them in the right plays. And that's obviously, when you watched Atlanta last year, that was the struggle. I mean, I remember when the Jags played them in London. I remember going back and watching their film, and I'm going, good gosh, this team is so talented offensively. And in the back of my mind, at the time, I'm thinking, like, Carson may come out this year. I'm like, God, that would be – if I had to pick, I would love for Carson to be in Atlanta. Obviously, he went back. But that's how talented they are. I mean, it's the spot that I think a lot of quarterbacks would have liked to have landed.
All right, big man, enjoy your time down there. Again, hello to the Minshew family, the clan, and we will see you back up here in North FLA next week.
Yes, sir. Look forward to it.
All right, buddy. Denny Thompson, the quarterback whisperer, at Denny_Thompson, and, of course, 6 Points Passing Academy. We will keep it rolling because we got all these big pieces of news to tear into, so we'll do that next on XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. Ever wonder how Dan and Jeff got hired at 1010XL?
I'm just looking to hire guys that I don't mind hanging out with.
The drill.
You guys seem like cool guys.
Mornings.
Let's do this. You guys are hired, unless you're like the weirdest guys ever and I don't see it.
On 1010XL.
Great.
Joe C. for Roland Reich Plumbing. When I needed a plumber, I said, Roland, I got a problem, man. This water heater just absolutely caved in on me. Because don't worry, I got it. Send me a picture of it. So the next thing you know, I'm giving them a picture. I'm showing what size tank I'd like, where it's at. He goes, no problem. We don't have to move anything around. We can be there in no time. We're talking the next day. Now, here's what they can do for you. 24/7 emergency service is available, and they're 25-plus years worth of experience as a business in this community, and they will definitely take care of you. So log on, plumbingjacksonville.com, and remember, it's simple. When you have a leak and can't wait a week, make sure you get in touch with Roland Reich Plumbing.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Staying active no matter what your age is key to living life at its fullest. And Rebound Rehabilitation wants you to know they can get you back up to speed and back in the game pain-free. Rebound Rehabilitation with 8 locations across the First Coast, top-of-the-line therapists ready to assist you. From neck and back pain, knee or foot pain, they can help. Excellent patient care combined with the highest quality in rehabilitation services. Look for a Rebound Rehab location near you and get back in the game. Log on, reboundrehab.com.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley have been helping first-time home buyers with their mortgage financing all over Florida for 34 years. First-time home buyers can get no or low down payments, anywhere from 0 to 3.5% down. As a first-time home buyer with Trustline Mortgage, you get added benefits for doing your loan with us, like lower rates on your mortgage insurance and lower closing costs. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Trustline gives first-time homebuyers better mortgage interest rates? Here's the bottom line. Trustline Mortgage wants to help first-time homebuyers accomplish your goal of home ownership. That's why Trustline Mortgage is offering the best first-time homebuyer benefits around, period. Trustline Mortgage delivers with no and low down payments, lower closing costs, and better interest rates. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. Yes, 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you buy your dream home. Or visit our website at trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing opportunity. MLS number 331480.
Get Gators play-by-play on 1010XL. Brought to you by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Dave Binion here with my son Ammon, who is the air duct cleaning manager at Zero Res. So Ammon, you may notice a little rattle in my voice and some puffiness in my eyes. That's because allergy season is coming on. Can Zero Res help?
Yes, your health has a lot to do with the air you breathe. A clean and healthy home begins with clean air. At Zero Res, we can help clean the air in your home by cleaning your air ducts, cleaning the coils in your HVAC units, and fogging the system with a powerful antimicrobial that helps kill and control the growth of microorganisms in your air. We also have options for maintaining your clean air with our excellent inline air purifier and UV lights that will help keep your system clean and healthy. At Zero Res, we are more than just air duct cleaners. We're a clean air specialist.
Have Zero Res air duct specialists out, and right now we'll give you $50 off your air duct cleaning, and while we're at it, we'll give you $50 off your dryer vent cleaning. Zero Res.
Spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREC. Zero Res.
Hello. Every great call comes to you on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
Just pick up your telephone and dial.
Listen for great phone interviews all day on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
We'll talk on the phone.
On 1010XL.
Did you know Prime Roofing manufactures, fabricates, and installs their metal roofs? If you're thinking about a metal roof, think Prime Roofing. Schedule an estimate today at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
The 2024 NFL season is approaching fast, and the Jaguars are celebrating their 30th season. Be at the bank for all the big plays and big moments of this milestone year by locking in your season tickets now. With packages for every budget and exclusive perks throughout the season, there's no better time to become a season ticket member. Be at the bank for every touchdown and secure your seats by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000 today. We'll see you at the bank.
The most common form of treatment for the arthritic joints is normally cortisone injections and gel shots and over-the-counter medications. And most patients have tried all of that and are still in pain.
Every day, Dr. Aaron Wolkoff, a QC Kinetics medical director, meets patients who have exhausted every method to get relief. They've been told surgery is their only option.
They want to stay away from that path, and they come to us almost as a last hope. So we're using our own body's properties to help manage pain, to help slow arthritis down, keep the patients active with no downtime, and get them back to what they enjoy doing. I mean, I love what I do.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments from our board-certified providers help heal and restore aching joints. No surgery, harmful drugs, or downtime. Call for your free consultation today.
QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
Ball four, take your base. The only thing worse than a pitcher running out of gas on the mound is your old phone running out of storage for your photos in the stands. Goodbye, home runs. Switch to Verizon and get a great deal on a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage for all the ballpark picks you want. Just trade in your iPhone, any model, in any condition, so you'll feel like you're winning, even when your team's not. Trade in any iPhone in any condition for a great deal on iPhone 15 Pro with Unlimited Ultimate and get iPad and Apple Watch SE with eligible service plan. Only on Verizon.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, we need to skate around the skateboard park and hit all the high notes. Big news with this first couple of hours, not even 3 full hours of the legal tampering period. And trust us, and you all of Duval, you guys all know this already. I'm not telling you something that's brand new to you. Agents and teams talk before they're allowed to, okay? Newsflash.
Also, agents like to tell reporters like yours truly things that, I don't know, maybe help their clients, and that's A-okay. You know, that's just kind of how this thing goes.
And I love Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter stumped for Russell Wilson last week like you just couldn't believe. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. And it was all agent-driven. But this latest piece of news, and we'll hit all the Jaguars stuff here in just 1 second, but now Kirk Cousins is the Atlanta Falcons quarterback going forward. How much better will he make the team? How important was it Raheem Morris got a quality quarterback to go with all that other talent? Definitely a big deal. Off the text line, told you Atlanta was going to be all over Kirk Cousins over Justin Fields. Obvious reasons were there to be researched. And look, he comes in, Kirk Cousins does, with a hell of a lot better resume than Justin Fields is. So it doesn't shock me at all. Like whenever we were handicapping this bad boy, it made all the sense in the world that Atlanta would make a play for him with the talent that they had, and that Justin Fields wouldn't be eliminated from this conversation because he does have Georgia ties. But by no means does that mean I got to bring him home and make sure that he's the starter.
But let's also be fair here. He's 36, right?
Mm-hmm.
35?
35, right there.
Somewhere in the
mid-30s.
He just blew out his Achilles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and have you seen him work out? He's definitely.
I get all of that, but that's a lot big difference
between you and I. We should not say we shouldn't count in Achilles injuries.
Man, it's a big difference between doing what he was doing in his, I guess it was his IG feed, and doing plyometric stuff and doing and actually being in a game.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think the one positive for Kirk Cousins is, generally speaking, I think he had a knee injury, right? Generally speaking, he's not been injured too often. And he's going through basically the full 9 months to recover from an Achilles because it happened around Thanksgiving Day, if I remember right. Might have been Halloween or Thanksgiving, one of those holidays. So he will have plenty of time. Not saying he's going to be 100% because you're right, mid-30s do mean something. But
at the very point, if he's healthy, it's a hell of a pickup.
At the very least, he's not a guy who's going to take off and run. He's just going to deliver the football.
Yeah.
All right, so let's hit the high notes here. Darnell Savage is the latest. Well, actually, no. Will Lutz was the latest guy.
Right.
So let's hit them all real quick.
Yeah,
with the
that's a 3-year deal for a kicker. I'm intrigued because the Jaguars did bring Riley Patterson back for pennies on the dollar shortly after the season ended, and so you would assume that'll be the competition heading into camp between those two players at the kicker position. They also added Darnell Savage, the free agent safety from the Green Bay Packers, on a 3-year deal too. I'm about to tweet this too. I know Matt was bringing it up. Is this an indictment on Antonio Johnson? I don't think so. I think this is, hey, let's just bring in a veteran stopgap, if you may.
And by the way, Antonio Johnson's on the cheap, okay? We mentioned a 6th-round pick for Mac. Antonio Johnson was a later draft pick, and he also still could figure into the nickel situation.
Right. And again, he's not going to be your nickel. He's going to play safety. He can play in the slot, though. So can Darnell Savage. Thank you to John Shipley for doing the math for us. 71 snaps in the slot last year. Quite a few more in the 4 previous years. 232 snaps in the slot in 22, 152 in 21, 198 in 2020, 216 in 2019. And so, again, this is where you would have that versatility to, if you put Antonio Johnson in the slot, here's another safety who could step onto the field that isn't named Andrew Wingard or Daniel Thomas, who obviously are important depth pieces, but this is a guy who has 4 years, 5 years of starting experience.
And I don't want to completely eliminate Gregory Jr. in this conversation, but there is a guy that at the very least was moving onward and upward before getting hurt. and then they had to go back to Trey Herndon. The other thing is I wonder why his numbers diminished as far as covering in that nickel spot. 200-plus plays with those other years.
I think as they drafted a nickel corner.
Yeah, maybe. I was just curious. But anyway.
Where's Taylor Dahl? I need my NFC North updates.
Yeah, whatever it'll be about the Packers from her, she will definitely give you that bad slant. But anyway, I like the idea of adding more to that secondary room. They haven't completely answered the question of a true starting corner after letting go of Darius Williams, a true starting safety after letting go to Rayshon. They got to fix all that.
Also, as one Nooner points out, Andre Sisco is in the final year of his contract. You obviously would like to bring him back, but at the same time, again, more insurance for if he was to ball out this year, be out of your price range, and you can't bring him back next season.
Okay, so those two big things happened in the last hour, kicker and safety. Gabe Davis, if you're just tuning in, you've been out working hard. Gabe Davis, former Buffalo Bill, former UCFer, Fernandina Beecher. He is going to be signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars, a 3-year, $13 million average for $39 million and $11 million up front. Give us another one, JJ.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Saquon Barkley to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Inside the
And that's
division.
after they signed Bryce Huff, too. The people of the Meadowlands are probably depressed right now.
So it's a 3-year, $37.7 million contract that could get up to 46, but only 26 fully guaranteed. So,
Will South Philly root for a giant that's now an Eagle?
I mean, for Saquon Barkley, $12 million a year, his value has dipped dramatically.
Yeah.
Well, the other part of it is that you're talking about a guy who came back from a very serious.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
But that's Joe's running backs right there.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Their value just.
But think about it. The three guys we mentioned last year, Pollard, Jacobs, and Saquon were all tagged, and they all made it 1 year with their teams, and then they're gone.
Right.
So Saquon's on the move. Josh Jacobs, where was he going? We saw that earlier. He's going to Green Bay. I'm pretty sure. Is that right?
Yes, he's going to
It's
Green Bay.
almost like you get one. Your tag is basically your money year for all these guys.
And look, as much as I love ETN, and we talked about
It's
it on
gonna be
this
the same
program,
thing.
Is he going to – are they going to pick up the fifth-year
I
option?
think they'll pick it up.
Yeah, probably, because it's an affordable contract. But now, you know what you have inside your 2021 draft? You have three first-round draft picks that you have to figure out are you picking up their options. You can pick up options on all of them? No, not with Mac. But you may have to pick it up with the other two.
Right.
That's significant. And then at the start of the day, Mitch Morse and basically the interior offensive line either signed or restructured, basically is the best way to say it. So, all right, we are ready to hand it off to the Frangie Show. They will keep an eye on the rest of it as we go along today.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
You know how superheroes have these secret identities?
Who is that girl? She's Lauren Brooks.
I'm 1/3 of an elite crime-fighting team backed by an anonymous millionaire.
Afternoons on The Frangie Show.
At your service.
On 1010XL.
Denny Thompson here. Tackle burglars and protect your turf. Give yourself peace of mind catching everything around your home with Tyson Sound & Security's cutting-edge surveillance cameras. For safety and convenience, Tyson has you covered for all home cameras and security systems. I'm talking HD recording, night vision, and remote alerts all from your phone or computer. Call Tyson Sound & Security right now at 904-762-1000. Tyson Sound & Security. Security and automation experts.
Mia here, and if you're still in the hunt for a sports book to call home, bet the nonstop action of the madness with MyBookie. MyBookie is a one-stop shop for all your sports betting and casino needs, complete with a real-life Vegas experience right for the comfort of your phone. Take your viewing experience to the next level with real-time live betting that lets you stream and bet the games right from MyBookie's website. Sign up now and take advantage of a generous welcome bonus on your first deposit, all the way up to $1,000. Put in $200, get $300 ready to play instantly using promo code 1010XL. And the fun doesn't stop there. You'll get up-to-the-minute odds, props, and this week's expert predictions to help you decide who to put your money on. It's Conference Championship Week and the Power Fives for men's basketball. Who are you putting your money on? Not to mention the best part about MyBookie, you could bet on anything, anytime, from anywhere. Use promo code 1010XL to secure your welcome bonus today, only with MyBookie.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Get ahead of the changing season with Fenwick Home Services by scheduling your AC tune-up now. Our service experts will perform a multi-point cleaning and inspection that will breathe new life into your system and help prevent breakdowns. Whether you need routine maintenance, repairs, or are ready for system upgrades, Fenwick has you covered with 24/7 availability. That's right, 24/7 availability. Book your visit online at FenwickHomeservices.com/1010XL.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Prosser here, and Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make that happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508. That's loanpronto.com at 904-999-1508. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Go inside your home team's locker room with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
Check out my blog at 1010XL.com.
So you can catch all the news and nuggets you need to know.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reese Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only costs are the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 23rd.
David Lane here again for Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. After several surgeries for age-old issues, mainly my back and shoulders, there's no doubt that Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is my sustaining resource for living pain-free. Take it from me, and I'm being really honest here, there's no better orthopedic facility here in Jacksonville.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 2-minute drill. Brought to you by Tire Outlet. Tire Outlet is now hiring. Visit TireOutlet.com/careers. Equal opportunity employer.
We got the Frangie Show ready to roll out at beautiful Sawgrass with the Haight Invitational. Frank Frangie joins us now. Frank, how are you?
Joe, I'm doing great, and obviously we got a lot of Jaguar news. Today's the news of the day, but this is one of the really cool college golf tournaments. 14 programs, some of the best programs in the country. North Carolina among those, Alabama among those, UNF, of course, and JU are both in this thing. So a lot of fun. We'll have results from that. Nick Morrow stops by, the AD UNF, Scott Schroeder, the golf coach as well. So just a gorgeous day out here. You know East-West, what a tough track it is here, Joe. So we're out here watching a little golf and getting ready to talk about the kind of the new-look Jaguars, aren't we? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, besides the great golf that you will see, I do think the balky detractors or the balky supporters, some of them are happy on both sides, some of them are not on both sides. What did you think immediately when you heard the Gabe Davis signing?
You know, that one. I was the one that was still kind of holding out hope for the longest time that Calvin Ridley would still be here. Obviously, it looks like he won't be now.
Keep holding out hope. You never know.
Joe, I've said this all along. I've said this from the get-go. I think they've got a good team. This is a team that's had back-to-back winning records for the first time in 20 years. They've only had a team for 30 years. So I think they think their window's here. So that's why they went and got Mitch Morse, because that was an area of weakness. That's why they went and got Gabe Davis, because they don't have a big physical go-get-the-ball receiver. I'm excited. I didn't expect Davis. I won't lie, Joe, but I'm excited that they've got him. I've got excited. I don't think they're done. I think they're trying to win this year, and that makes me excited. It really does.
Frank, do you think the move to add Gabe Davis is signaling a changing of the guard and Zay Jones potentially being on the chopping block, or is this simply a replacement for Calvin Ridley?
I think it's the latter, Mia, more than the former, but it's also something they didn't have. They didn't have a big physical go-get-the-ball receiver. They didn't have a Mike Williams or they didn't have a Mike Evans. They didn't have, and I think Gabe Davis represents that a little bit. I think Zay Jones, again, if you look at the people, Mia, that are important to this franchise, the veteran guys, there's a reason Cam Robinson's still here when we thought he wasn't going to be. There's a reason Brandon Sheriff's still here when we thought he wasn't going to be. I think Zay falls into that category. I think they want 3 receivers. I think they want Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, and the third guy. I really did believe the third guy might still be Calvin Ridley. Now it's hard to think it will be. In my opinion, this means Zay stays and Calvin doesn't. I think they're trying to win, Mia. So I don't think this changes the guard at all. Again, they didn't have a big physical high-point receiver, and I think they have that now.
All right, sounds good, Frank. We will be listening. You guys have fun out there.
Okay, guys. Thank you all very much.
All right, Frangie Show coming up next. We are done. Mocama Beer Company, they're never done. Coffee every single day in the tap room. Make sure you enjoy that. Craft Tuesday through Sunday, and hit both of their locations. If you're coming in for the players, you're coming in from the north, hit Fernandina Beach right there on South 8th, and then look for them in the Wildlight area with their satellite tap room. Mocama Beer Company online, mocama.com. Joe C., me, O'Brien, Matty Hayes, Big Surson, JJ. Frangie Show's up next.
Buckle up.